What horror franchise would benefit most from maybe a Christmas episode? Let me take that again, since it's not an episode. It's not TV.
Episode of film. A filmatic episode.
A film episode. Yeah, okay, just keep that in there. Fuck it, let's do it.
Which horror franchise could use a holiday movie? Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Film episode,
franchise
Mark.
has to be a film episode. It has to be like more than 3 movies, though, to count. You can't do like a trilogy.
Oh, that's not a problem. The one I chose has 11, and it's Hellraiser.
Of course, you're going with Hellraiser.
Did anybody else pick Hellraiser here at the table? Good.
Really? Okay.
I would watch that.
You were so worried about that. You were so
was.
worried that someone was going to pick Hellraiser.
Because the idea came so easily to my brain.
Slid right in there.
Yeah, you know how Hellraiser's known for taking other scripts and turning them into their own sequels? I'm looking at you 5 through 10.
Yeah.
I thought we might just slide in the Christmas Carol, and we can call it a Christmas configuration.
Ooh.
Think of all of the holiday-themed Cenobites we could create.
Thought about it. I'm out.
You're out already? Think a little more. Just really think about it.
Look, Garrett's not sure, but he knows he'll want to have sex with them. That's the most that he does know.
Look, all right.
You look like a Christmas tree. Come here.
Chatter to come up and be like, I know I fucked up my past, dog.
But I think it would be funny if one of the ghosts of Christmas past was the Chatterer, so he just sits there and clicks his teeth, and Scrooge is like, what now? What are you trying to say?
I think it'd be better if he understood them like Chewbacca.
Oh, okay.
Like he just knows. He's like, I get it. I know. I told her this, but I didn't mean to.
I think Jacob Marley could be played by Frank from movie 1 in his Jesus wept form. He's already got the chains and stuff. He's probably moaning from all the pain.
I think it'd be better if he was just skinless through the whole movie.
That'd be like the Rudolph knockoff.
Yeah.
That's how he gets his red nose. No skin.
Ooh, I like it. Pull that nose right off.
Yeah.
Put some reindeer on, Frank.
Listen,
or sorry, antlers.
In case you can't tell, Emma's with us in the studio today.
Hello.
You know how all the configurations started with an L?
Yeah.
The best I could do is the Leon configuration.
I think it'd be great because every configuration
because that's Noel backwards.
Oh,
Jesus!
You got to make this one
that's
now.
good. That's
I see you put the same thought into this as the 5 through 10 did for their series.
Oh, I did a little more than that. Give me some credit.
I don't know. I've seen part 6. I can't tell you what's in part 6. I have no idea.
The box turns into a candy cane.
The box turns into a candy.
That's the configuration.
The configuration turns into a candy cane.
I thought you meant the VHS box.
Yes,
Peppermint flavored. It's incredible.
Oh, you like the peppermint flavored boxes. There we go.
We're going to lick the cube now?
Yeah, you have
I
to.
would.
Okay.
Oh, you got to lick the cube.
And that's when it stabs you.
Do you think Pinhead would have like icicles coming out of his face?
I think there needs to be a t-shirt, just the lamentation configuration that says lick the cube.
Would he have icicles? Probably. Oh, and then you could hang ornaments from them. Really go all out.
Here's some tinsel, Pinhead.
Yes.
String it around his head. Anyway, that's what I came up with. I thought it was pretty good.
I like it. I would watch that.
I would watch it.
What'd you guys think of?
Well, I went for a crossover. I was thinking
crossover?
Yeah, Leprechaun.
A Freddy v. Jason type thing?
Well, no, holiday crossover.
Oh.
Leprechaun Christmas edition.
Oh my God, I'm surprised that doesn't
that's not
exist.
A crossover. That's literally the assignment.
Yeah, well, because
So-
he's more associated with St. Patrick's Day than Christmas.
Right, so you're going to show us what the leprechaun does during the Yuletide season?
Exactly. He can
Okay.
even have those ridiculous Santa shoes with the bell at the top. I guess they're elf shoes.
I would love if he started a campaign to basically slowly infringe on Christmas's time frame, like Christmas does with Thanksgiving and Halloween.
That's it. Yeah.
And then the Christians just go nuts and be like, they're stealing our holiday.
He's apparently ranges from infinity years old to a couple hundred years old. So, he could talk about how much Christmas has changed.
Did they ever do a leprechaun baby?
No.
Son of leprechaun?
I'm just like a little baby leprechaun, like he gets reborn.
Well, one time he got pissed out of a Marine's dick and then sort of was created from that. I assume that's
is that a birth? I mean,
I don't know. It's a recreation.
it's a reboot.
I think that's teleportation through urine.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Okay. That's the worst way to travel, man. You're the worst way to fly.
I'm going to put you on the
John
spot.
forgot there was another hole, so.
Would I rather be shit out or peed out?
New cold open idea.
Save that one for our next episode.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
That should have been our Kuzo cold open.
Jesus.
Okay.
Put you on the spot.
Put me.
Give me a rhyme. Give me a Christmas rhyme that the leprechaun would say when he's murdering somebody.
Drop some fresh beats for us.
Oh, boy. Here's the thing about rhyming. I don't know how to do. I don't know words. So
I don't know words.
Yeah, I don't know any words.
And ladies and gentlemen, there it is.
Except for bird, which is the word. I'd probably say, I hope you're in pain as I kill you with this candy cane.
Okay, that's good
That's
enough.
good. I
Thank
like
you.
it. Yes.
Perfect. Is he going to have any interactions with Saint Nick or any other fairy tale-esque creatures?
Great question. Yes. okay, hear me out. What if he murders Santa Claus and then becomes Santa Claus like the Tim Allen movie?
Yep.
And now he's got to go
I mean, like Nightmare Before Christmas,
No,
he takes over
the
as Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
The
The
Santa-
Santa Claus.
Where Tim Allen becomes Santa Claus after he
I've
kills
never
Santa
seen
Claus.
those movies.
He kills Santa Claus.
Does he really kill Santa
And he
Claus?
becomes the next Claus.
He accidentally kills Santa.
Oh, I thought he like went in there hard. I was like, that's a Disney movie, right?
You didn't know that the whole movie's premise was the Santa Claus is in contract clause?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was like basically like he just had to help out.
No,
You thought it was just spelled wrong.
Well, check Disney Plus this season. They made another one.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
is this
I'm
4
good.
now?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
What? There's that many?
So it's a
That's not-
franchise.
no.
Yeah, it's a franchise.
Did Tim come back?
Yes, he's back.
That's there you go. So yes, this is a Santa Claus, except you add the leprechaun. In fact, the rest of the movie's the same. He's got a stepkid and the whole shit.
What about versus the Grinch? They're trying to outdo each other in a contest.
No, that's a Freddie v. Jason.
That's what I'm
thing.
saying. It
Yeah,
could be like
I
that.
like that one too. There's so many. There's so many avenues you could go here. So really, I'm thinking a whole
Guys,
Christmas
single
franchise.
Christmas movie. We're not doing franchises of
No.
Christmas movies.
Leprechaun's becoming a Christmas franchise now.
Sci-fi. Hire
It
this
just makes
man.
sense at this point,
Yeah.
honestly.
Nothing left. So he's already been to space.
I like it.
All right.
Where do you go from there?
The North Pole.
Is that the natural progression of this?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, well, I yield my time to the senator from Texas, Emma.
I picked a Final Destination because I thought there'd be a lot of fun ways that they could kill them Christmassy. Like someone could get stuck in a chimney. Somebody could like fall through some ice while they're ice skating. Like
I dig it.
gored by a reindeer.
Melted by hot chocolate.
Yeah. Decapitated.
Boiled
while
in hot
sledding.
chocolate.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
I think we need to have like a nativity scene murder too. Somehow the baby Jesus rolls out of the manger and then we get a whole fucking mousetrap of
Yes.
death involving the wise men, or the star falls off the, the
I like
set or
it.
something like that.
That would be
About
badass.
frankincense and myrrh.
Death by myrrh.
No one ever thinks about that, but there it is.
You're right.
It writes itself.
Too much myrrh.
and nobody could hold that much myrrh. It's just crushed.
Do you guys even know what myrrh is?
It's like a spice.
Is it?
I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's like a shorthand for merkin.
Yeah,
They
that's
brought the baby Jesus a pubic wig.
right.
All right.
I like it. That's a good idea. We could use a holiday Final Destination.
I dig it. The star could fall straight into somebody's head
Yes.
vertically,
Yeah.
and then
And then light up.
yes,
Yeah, I would totally watch that.
All right. I like it. These are all great ideas. And I'm surprised none of you took my idea because it's just sitting there waiting for the taking. I'm going with Saw. That little Billy puppet in a Santa hat. Think about it.
That would sell. That would be the #1 holiday item.
See, the thing is, if I release mine
like
first,
it.
I can steal a lot of Emma's thunder and basically have these contraptions where like, people get killed by candy canes, like a spiked like board goes into them, but it's all candy cane. They
would
can't open
definitely
a
watch
present
that.
before Christmas Eve, but at the same time, if they don't figure out what it is,
I could hear
they have to eat a ton of cookies and milk.
Like
Hello,
until they
Garrett.
explode.
Yes, exactly.
Hello, Garrett. You like to re-gift gifts from other people.
Do I?
Well, not this time.
I'm going to re-gift you your life,
You're
but
gonna-
only if.
You're going to eat a whole sleeve of candy canes in 2 minutes or else.
You've forgotten the reason for the season.
These are all great ideas, man.
You have to listen to Mariah Carey's Last Christmas, or wait, is that what it?
That's all I want for Christmas.
All I
I
Want for Christmas?
Christmas.
I don't know.
How
You're
could you
thinking of
not? It's
Wham.
everywhere.
Wham! There it is.
I love that song.
If you can listen to that for like 5 days straight, you survive.
That's easy. All you gotta do is go outside. We've become immune to that song. It's just the background of December now.
There's going to be a myriad of flashbacks of where Jigsaw got that song recorded and released on all the Clear Channel fucking stations.
Instead of a pig mask, it's a reindeer face.
That was Mariah's test. She had to come up with a new annoying Christmas song, and she hit a home run.
Do you think she was talking about Nick Cannon when she wrote that?
No, I think Nick Cannon was like 10.
I hope that was not the case. Moving on. Jeez, John.
Fucking Christmas, alright, alright, alright. Whoa! Fucking Christmas, alright. Santa got the phone, Frosty got the phone, oh yeah. Rudolph got the phone, Even me, Mr. Scrooge got the phone, oh yeah. Cold, drop it low, drop it low. Snow, let it snow, let it snow. You are ready, no. Make that belly shake like a bowl of jelly roll. Whoa!
Hey, all you creatures from cyberspace. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Grave Talk Podcast. My name is Mark, again joined with Garrett and John, and we welcome back Emma. Thank you for joining us this holiday season.
I'm glad to. I love this movie.
You do, yeah. You were like, if you do this one, I have to be here. So tell us why this one means so much to you.
So when I was a kid and I would go to Blockbuster with my mom, I would always look at all the horror movies, like, and this one, like, with Santa coming down the chimney with the axe, and also 5, which I haven't seen, but with all the teddy bears all over it, looking all creepy. I really, really, really wanted to see it. And I was never allowed to rent any of those. And so I was really excited to finally see it as an adult when I remembered it. And I think it's hilarious. And it's one of my favorite Christmas horror movies.
The bar's not too high, but I would also say it's probably one of the better ones we've done, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I liked the other one we did, what the Christmas, what was it?
Evil
Yeah, Christmas Evil.
with Harry.
Yeah.
That was way better. It had a giant car jump at the end.
Out of nowhere.
For
Van
no
is
reason
just
whatsoever.
going, yeah.
You're remembering
To be fair, this movie also had a lot of out of nowhere for no reason.
Well, yeah,
Let's be honest.
It's about 3 good parts. And also, I mean,
3?
the best one we've done, I was being generous, is Krampus still to me.
Sure. Fine.
What's the one with the
That's
3?
one with Adam Scott.
Yeah.
What's the one with the 3 stories that combine together? Christmas Story Time or something like that? Christmas Story Time. What the fuck?
It's got Santa
fighting the Krampus on
Yeah.
the front.
That was a good one, too.
I enjoyed that one quite a bit.
In fact, this is probably the worst one we've done, Mark.
Jeez.
It is not. We'll get into it in just a minute. But this one was one that I had avoided because I don't really do a lot of Christmas horror movies all that time. It wasn't until the podcast that I actually started seeking these out. I did see Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker, back in the day with Mickey Rooney. That one was just one of the random ones that was on Showtime late night at a sleepover.
Is it because you thought it would be like a Puppet Master type movie? Is it like a Puppet Master type movie?
No.
Oh.
He literally just sets toys in a room and then the toys move and kill people.
So kind of like a Puppet Master
Yeah.
type thing.
But
But
are
they're
these,
not sentient.
are they like wind-up
it's not-
toys?
Yes.
So he makes the toys that actually just kill people.
Correct.
Oh.
So like a
Wow,
Saw.
that's way shittier.
He's angry because this family moved into the house he got evicted from. So he starts like terrorizing this little kid and putting killer toys on his front doorstep, and that's how it starts out.
Let that
His
be
dad
a
is
lesson to
murdered.
everyone who bought a house during the housing crisis.
Yeah, I hope these toys are like a banana peel where he just slips and falls, and maybe one of those crushing monkeys.
There's like a Larry the Larva. It's just a long like centipede thing that wraps itself around a guy's neck and goes down his throat and pops
Larry
out his
the
eyes.
Larva? I mean, that sounds amazing, but what
That's
a
what the
shitty
box
name.
said on it.
Yeah, wouldn't it have been easier to just shoot him? Why go through all of this?
Burn the house down. No one wins at that point.
John, was this the first time you've seen this movie?
The very first time, yes.
Will it be the last time?
Absolutely.
Ew.
No, I'll take it back. You know what? Maybe I'll watch it again. Sometimes I like these B movies better on second watch. They like grow on me a little bit. Maybe I appreciate the charm more. But at this exact moment, no, I don't ever plan to watch this one again.
But it's so funny.
Yeah, is it though?
We go to you live now to Emma's response.
Well, we'll get into Is It Though in just a minute. Have you guys been up to anything since last recording? Any movies you want to bring up?
Let's see. I rewatched 1408. Love that movie. 2 thumbs up. Surprised we haven't done it yet. We should add that to the list.
Is that the one with Johnny Depp?
No, it's got
John Cusack. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was
Haunted
thinking
Hotel
of.
Room.
That's what I was thinking of.
Samuel Jackson. Very,
I remember
very
liking
good.
that one, yeah.
Yeah, I went to Aces, and then I watched Oculus again, which is like one of my favorite horror movies. So that one's always good.
You know, I bought that and I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's really good. You should watch it. I'm going to walk that back some. I think it's really good. You should watch it.
Well, I was in a romance kind of mood, so I watched I Spit on Your Grave remake. And, that's a rough one.
I didn't finish that one.
Perfect for your anniversary.
This year, get her, I Spit on Your Grave. Yeah, no, I forgot about the massive rape scene in that movie. I know it's kind of the whole crux of the whole movie, but I forgot, and I was just like, let's watch this. This has got a nice cover. It's just her butt. And I was just
Yeah.
like, let's go. And I was like, oh, whoa, this is very different from what I thought it was going to be.
There's no grave spitting at all in this movie.
But
Like, of all the things to forget about that movie.
I know. I guess I blocked it out, but man, I don't know. I kind of like the remake. It was pretty good compared to the original, which was also pretty like visceral and hardcore. Because I had to watch that one too. I was like, did I just completely misremember the first one? Yeah, I did. And so I watched those. I've been burning through the old classic monster movies: Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, all those. Man, about half of those fucking still slap, and the other half are just boring trash. I'm sorry, The Mummy is not entertaining. I can see why Tom Cruise, was it Tom Cruise?
He made a mummy, but
Yeah, I see why that one flopped too. God, Mummy's
there's
just
only
not
one
interesting.
movie, The Mummy, and it came out in 1999.
Okay.
Yeah, Brandon Fraser.
The Rock was in that, right?
No, he's in the second.
God,
the
I am
Scorpion
bad
King.
at this.
If you haven't seen The Mummy from 1999, go check it out. It is incredible.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
How many Brendan Fraser posters do you have up in your room, and why are they all of that movie Bedazzled?
That movie's
why-
awesome. Oh, Elizabeth Hurley in that. Dude, like
Yeah.
9 different outfits that just blow your mind.
Yeah, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, but she's not on the cover of that poster.
Yes, she is.
It's just Brendan Fraser.
Yes, she
I
is.
have a wife, so I had to. But in my mind,
okay,
I know what's
okay.
up.
It's just white out over the Elizabeth Hurley part. Look, honey, it's totally okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't sleep on the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That one's good.
It came in the box set, so I'm going to check it out, I'm sure.
Okay, very good.
From Disney, right?
No. Black and white classic. 1929's The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, that one,
Yes.
not the Disney one from the mid '90s.
I just said that. No.
Okay, I'm just confirming.
I watched Addams Family and Addams Family Values.
Oh, shit, I watched those too.
I could get into the new series from Netflix called Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty good. It's kind of like if Harry Potter was goth. That's the feel.
Okay.
Can you do the dance?
I thought it was
She
kind
does
of
like a lot
Sherlock
of hands
Holmes.
back and then
Yeah.
It's a weird
Audience,
dance.
everyone here just did their really bad interpretation of the Wednesday dance.
It's a what? Look,
It's a
thumbs
visual
up.
thing, but I just wanted to share with you the suffering and pain that I'm going through right
Everyone
now.
did a great job. Okay,
John, you
know what?
shut your mouth. Do not encourage this.
Just for trying.
Well, you guys have a TikTok. Do it on there. It's a big craze.
Yeah,
Right.
that is a current craze. I'm very
Is it
familiar
really?
with this noise.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You have to do it now for your
we
TikTok.
have to do it.
But Wednesday,
film it.
Wednesday is played by the gal from Scream 5, and she does a really good job. Anyway, Wednesday's pretty good. If you got Netflix, you should check it out.
I watched it. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
I have not watched it yet, but I want to watch it.
I'll tell you the one thing that I don't like about the Addams Family, and it's present in every iteration, is I don't need the Morticia and Gomez.
Oh, I love
like that.
Oh, that's part, dude.
So much. I don't need
it's
it.
so great.
I like
It's
that
so boring.
too.
Emma
I think
gets
that's
it.
their thing, though. The like.
I don't like that thing. That's why I'm a Munsters guy.
Look away then, okay?
Avert
I
thine
like my
eyes.
family's dysfunctional and without romance.
I like big goofs going hoo 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 like Herman Munster.
Well, guess what, buddy? Future's wide open, sir.
Good. I can't wait. Emma, have you watched anything recently?
I finally saw Barbarian, and I loved the first half, and then I really didn't like the second half. And then I saw Smile finally, and that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I saw The Menu with you.
Yeah, The Menu was a lot of fun.
Not really
Yeah.
so much horror, more of a thriller, but yeah, definitely good movie. Good
I
movie.
loved it. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Ray Fiennes or Ralph Fiennes? Which one is it?
It's spelled Ralph.
Okay.
It might be Ray.
Whatever it is.
Both are correct.
That dude was rad in it. He was really good.
That's the one with The Rock, right?
Voldemort has his nose and he's a chef. That's the whole plot of the movie.
Wait, is that the same guy who does Voldemort?
Yes.
I didn't know that
Holy
either.
shit.
You didn't know that? Man, why do I know more about Harry Potter than you guys?
Because you spend more time at home watching movies, and we're out there living it up, Addams Family, Morticia Gomez style.
Hitting the streets, smooching on people.
That's what we do.
All right. Well, let's talk
Get
about.
at us, listeners.
Let's get a little more festive.
Contact Emma at the following.
All right. Well, let's get a little more festive with Silent
Actually,
Night.
let me interrupt you one more time.
Please do. I know it's not been enough. Here we go. Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. This one was directed
Sorta.
by Charles E. Seller Jr.
Like assembled.
It's interesting that you might say something like that, John, because this guy wasn't really a director when he made this movie.
No. Bombshells being dropped.
Was he a director after he made this movie?
Still questionable.
A couple more.
Okay.
Really, what Charles was known for before he did this is he produced the television series The Life and Time of Grizzly Adams.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Natural progression here. I see where his history.
So it looks like there was a producer named Jot Shined. What did I just say?
You said Jot Shine.
Scott Shine.
Okay. So close, yet so far.
There was a producer named Scott Shine who was accepting pitches for movies, and someone from Harvard University sent in a short story about a killer Santa Claus. So he took that idea and he took it to Michael Hickey and had him write up some screenplays, and they submitted that to TriStar Pictures, who liked it and financed it, and then it was originally going to be called Sleigh Ride.
That's way better title. Slay spelled slay, I'm sure, right? S-L-A-Y.
It better.
Yeah, that would have been a real missed opportunity. I hope when Scott Shine took
You mean
like,
Jot Shine?
I hope when he accepted pitches, he's like, let me put a shine on that.
Oh yeah, that's his signature TM phrase.
That's
you know what I mean?
Always.
This card says it below his name.
Yeah.
Oh God.
They wanted to originally get someone like a John Carpenter. They wanted to get somebody who thought they would get a real up and comer. But TriStar's like, nah. How about this Grizzly Adams guy?
Yeah.
And they were not back down. So that's why he got the gig.
Here's the thing. Look, I have no reason to not believe that, but I always feel like poor studios are always blamed for everything. They're like, oh yeah, it was definitely TriStar who forced us to hire this person.
Faceless corporations are
Yeah.
so easy to blame for stuff, though.
He did not put the shine on that.
No.
You're just gonna really try to sell that this whole episode, aren't
Make
you?
it fetch happen, all right?
Okay.
So
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
This movie was at the center of a lot of controversial attacks from parents and the PTA.
I thought you were gonna say this movie was at cinemas, and I was like, wrong.
It did. It was there for 6 days until it was pulled.
Nice.
What?
Oh, parents aren't gonna let this go.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is beloved and sacred to these people.
TriStar didn't think it was going to be a big deal because in 1980 we had Christmas Evil, and then in 1972 there was an anthology film collection called Tales from the Crypt. I don't know if it has anything to do with the comic.
no, not really.
But there was a Killer Santa in that as well. So they were just like, whatever, it's already been done. But their commercials were sandwiched in between like stuff you would see on primetime Thursday nights or whatever. So a lot of parents saw it and freaked out. It was like, oh, little Billy can't see a killer Santa Claus. That can't happen. So they started to,
Little Billy.
well, that was just probably because we're going to talk about a Billy.
Let's walk on over and see who's in our kitty corner. Hi, what's your name?
Billy.
Billy what?
So parents started protesting and going to theaters with signs, and they got the movie pulled.
What?
And it actually,
Imagine having that much free time as a parent.
it ended up grossing $1.4 million in 6 days before it was pulled, and it was on track to make more money than Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's bananas.
Controversy, man.
Now,
Controversy.
admittedly, not a parent, but wouldn't you just not let
But
your
you could
kids
be for
watch
$5
it?
Right.
Like, wouldn't that, rather than go protest, just don't let your kid watch it. Problem solved.
John, have you paid attention to anything that happens in this country?
Well, you
people
know-
just can't leave shit alone.
Fair point, but also, obviously, they lost. They might have won the battle, but they lost the war because there's like 17,000 Santa murder movies now. So,
Yep.
When you do something like this, you shine a light on it and you add more interest. You've just made
Yeah.
the property more appealing to everybody. And it's banning shit is stupid.
I agree.
In general, stop it. If you don't want it to get successful, don't talk about it. It'll just go away. Especially a Christmas horror movie. Like, no one would have ever talked about this again.
I am trying so hard not to draw parallels to the gay and the Christian situation that we're dealing with right now.
well, he makes me think of when they protested Dogma, and then Kevin Smith went out
Yeah.
and was like,
Except you
pretended to
can't
be a
find that movie
protester.
anymore. Dude, you can't buy it digitally. They're not
Really?
releasing it anymore. Yeah, like evidently there was so much bullshit about it and death threats and stuff like that they just like kind of let it fall into the rug.
was like his second best
Unless you
movie.
own that DVD, you can find an old copy. Good luck.
Wikipedia said the commercials were airing in the same time break as like Three's Company and Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
I mean, maybe not the
Yes.
best.
I love the idea of Little House on the Prairie being like da da da, and then it's all like just Christmas.
I mean, but it's not like it was Sesame Street, you know? Like,
It was damn
That
close,
would have
man.
been hilarious.
Dude, Little House on the Prairie was like the wholesome TV.
yeah, but Three's Company wasn't. That's quite a different, I think, two different audiences. I don't think there's a lot of crossover between Prairie and Three's Company.
You're right. They were so progressive at the time that he had to pretend to be a gay man
Yeah.
to stay with those ladies.
See? So I don't know if the Prairie Cut crowd would have been a fan of the pretend gay threesome crowd.
I'm sure not.
No.
I'm sure there was a lot of crossover that wasn't spoken about, fellas.
I watched the Siskel and Ebert review of this because in it, Siskel, acting like a real Oliver Cromwell piece of shit, he's out there and he names everybody that produced the movie and is like, you should be ashamed of yourselves. What are you going to tell your children and your grandchildren? All the money you make off of Silent Night, Deadly Night is blood money.
Exactly. It's a horror movie. It's blood money.
So that's why they call him Snitch and Siskel.
That's how he earned his title.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, calm down, man. Holy shit, this movie's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean,
What does Oliver Cromwell have to do anything with this?
He's the Lord Protector.
yeah. of
He
the realm.
ruled with tyranny and military and beheaded lots of people.
Mostly hated Christmas.
Okay.
known for it.
Yeah. I mean,
I just want
ignore
to make
all.
sure I was getting the connection here. I was like, wait, was he out there naming names?
First war on Christmas, Oliver Cromwell. He basically won.
Have you now or have you ever been associated with the anti-Christmas agenda?
Yeah, he ran it.
If you say happy holidays, off with his head.
Yeah, that was it. No, he didn't want.
The opposite.
Yeah, if you say Merry Christmas, get out of here.
Flip it over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got confused on where we were going with that.
Okay,
So
no
he
problem.
started the war on Christmas then is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yeah, Oliver Cromwell.
Wow.
1600s.
Yeah,
That's how old this battle's been waged.
that's all facts.
Real holiday Pearl Harbor, if you will.
Anyway,
History talk.
this one stars Lillian Chauvin as a Mother Superior.
That fucking nun, man. I tell you what.
Many laws were broken, even in the 70s. I'm just gonna.
I was so excited when they introduced a nunnery. I was like, go on, I'm in. And then it was like, nowhere cool.
They're never cool.
I've got a movie called Killer Nun. Yes, some of them are cool.
That's not real, though.
Oh, you're talking about
Real life nuns are never cool.
Yeah, unlike
I don't know.
this movie, which is
real
very
life
real.
nuns, if you're listening out there, get at me. I like to believe there's some cool nuns out there.
That'd be interesting if someone in a nunnery was listening to this podcast.
What if we're a huge hit in the convent community?
That'd be badass.
Yeah.
See, Emma fucking gets
Okay,
it.
well then I'll retract my statement.
you
I
go.
wait to see a cool nun.
I wait to see a cool nun.
I mean, I've known a few nuns when I went to, CCD, and none of them were cool.
Okay.
God, I forgot about CCD.
Yeah.
Oh, CC.
I didn't even go to it. I just
even
had
know what CCD
Catholic
is.
friends.
Well, it's basically religious indoctrination.
Oh.
You have to go every Sunday until you're old enough to tell your parents no.
Anyway, cast list. Gilmer McCormick as Sister Margaret, Tony Nero as Pamela, Robert Brian Wilson as Billy at 18, Britt Leach as Mr. Sims, and let's give Lena Quigley her due as Denise, which I believe she's the blonde on the pool table.
You're damn right she is.
There's a bunch of other people in this movie, but I don't think we need to name anybody else. Here's what the back of the Betamax has to say about Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Not since Oliver Cromwell has. No, I'm just.
Bearing the emotional scars of a young boy who has seen his mother and father brutally murdered by a savage killer in a Santa Claus costume, 18-year-old Billy explodes into a lethal frenzy. He's asked to put on a Santa Claus suit himself to entertain the customers of a department store where he works. Reminded of the tragic events that have marked his life, Billy embarks on a killing rampage that is ghastly and controversial as anything ever seen on film. Silent Night, Deadly Night is the movie they tried to stop you from seeing, and now in its original uncut version. Recommended for mature audiences only, but not to be missed.
Uncut? This was uncut?
I was going to ask you guys what version you saw.
Whatever you could rent on iTunes.
Was it the theatrical version? You can tell because some of the scenes cut to SD quality.
SD quality. They cut through like they were filmed like by
Yeah.
like
Handy cam.
yeah.
Only seen that, yeah.
That was all the footage that was added back in. So I didn't know if you guys watched the original theatrical cut or not.
Did
There
they
was some shitty quality in there, so I'm assuming I watched the uncut version.
I assume they had to go get it like out of a dumpster. And
Yeah. TriStar dumped all that stuff. So wherever they could pull it. I'm actually glad they did because those scenes added in a lot needed gore. A lot more needed gore.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie would have been really bad without that.
Right.
What gore did they add?
Well, there's
Like
scenes of
the-
like...
Oh, the antlers?
Yeah.
or the sled
Oh,
beheading.
that wasn't in the theatrical?
I mean, that's when it looked really shitty.
Wow. God, then what was left in the movie and the theatrical? How did
Right,
that
that's
movie
what
make
I'm
$1 million bucks. It had to be
filmed-
just pure controversy.
Yeah.
They sent it back 4 times for edits before it actually got to a state where they could put it out. So, yeah, they made a lot of cuts. I mean, that's what they did in the 80s, right?
That is true. Fucking MPAA.
Well, John, I think we all kind of get the idea of what you think about this movie,
Yes.
but why don't you lead us off with your opinion on the film?
All right. I may be coming to the realization that I'm not a huge fan of 80s B movies. It only took me about 50 of them, but I think
But you like Death Spa?
I did like Death Spa.
No, you didn't. You didn't like it that much.
No.
No, he did talk shit about it when we recorded
Yeah.
it, but
But
eventually he's come around.
It comes
though.
around. That's why I think I need to watch it again. Maybe these
Okay.
movies grow on me. But during the time, this was like nails on a chalkboard.
Wow.
And-
We
yeah.
got Sleepaway Camp coming up too. I'm interested.
I've
to
already
see that
seen and disliked that one. So
one. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Jesus, for an episode we haven't even done yet, John.
We did a double feature with that and Halloween 3 back in the day.
yeah. So it's possible though on second watching I'll like it more. Or not, yeah, this might be third watching. I think I tried to watch it a second time and then stopped. I was like, oh, this is
Okay.
ridiculous. Anyway, so I just couldn't get on board with the pacing of this movie, the acting, the script. pretty much, except for like the 3 times he actually killed somebody. Those were all creative. Other than that, though, everything else sucked. The end.
There was more death than just 3 people.
Yeah, but a lot of them were boring. All right, he hanged a guy with Christmas lights. Very creative.
He held that dude up with one hand, Michael Myers style. I was like, what the fuck is Billy on? That dude is juiced.
That dude was jacked.
He was jacked.
Little
Don't get me
tiny-
wrong, he was a buff dude, but it was just like Billy.
Yes.
Like, get
I'll tell
it.
you, my absolute favorite part, and what almost made this whole movie worth it, is the sled scene where he just jumps out from a fucking bush and is like, haha, and just beheads that guy.
I was busy. I looked down at one point because I watched this movie rip shit drunk. I didn't even know how I was going to get it to turn on and play. I was just like, I can't figure
I
this
should
out.
try that.
No, it
that's-
didn't make it any better. But I did enjoy certain scenes more because I was like watching the sledding scene. And I was like, okay. And I looked down for 2 seconds and I looked back up and it's like hack. And I was like, oh, what the fuck did I miss? I missed like half a second
Yeah.
of film. There was no lead up to that. That was such a great surprise
And I
thing
like
that happened.
in my head to just imagine he's like hiding behind the tree watching them bully
Those are thin
kids.
trees
Yeah.
too. Is it bright red suit? How do you miss Billy? His name is Billy, right? Am I calling him the wrong name already?
That's his name.
That's his
Okay.
name.
That almost made the whole movie worth it because it was just such a bananas scene.
What did you go in and expecting though? Because you got to go in expecting
Well-
some cheese, some
Yeah.
badness. Like that's what this movie is,
Here-
and it is better watched with libations or high as a kite.
Yeah, I was stone cold sober. So my
Bad move.
mistake number one.
mistake. It's
yes.
the holiday season, man. You should not be sober at all at this
You
point.
should have had a big old cup of alcoholic eggnog.
Yo, maybe next time. The thing is, I didn't go in expecting anything except it's like very popular and people are like, oh, this is such a holiday horror classic. And,
Now,
so
question.
people talk it up a lot. And then, so.
Do you think this movie's popular because of part 2? Because part 2 is one of those viral, like everyone knows Garbage Day.
I've never told anybody this before. Let it out. Here it comes. Garbage Day! No!
Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
I'm going to say no because I think most of the people that have seen that online don't even know that's in
Yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night
Yeah.
2.
Okay. I was curious if that was what propelled.
And also the
to
first
be
one was
such a-
more popular for a longer period of time
Okay,
than
gotcha.
the second one
Here's
was.
my gut on why I think it's popular. Because people remember it from when they were a kid, a la Emma, and that's their first inner, like, oh, this is so cool. And
I just told you I don't have a nostalgia for this one either, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's so funny.
if this movie came out right now, as is, in 2022,
They don't make them like
we'd
they
be
used
like-
to.
Year of our new Lord.
Yes.
They would never make one like this.
We'd
for
be
be
now.
like, this is the
We got
worst thing.
Violent Night with David Harbour. I don't think we're getting Silent Night,
Also,
Deadly Night
they
again.
do. If you want to see movies like this, go to Tubi.com, scroll down a while, and they're there. They still make shit movies, Mark. I hate to break it to you. They are out there. If you type in Santa on Pluto or wherever, you
Oh my
find
God,
bad
you guys.
movies.
Do you think Shudder's going to make it through this? The whole layoffs and everything?
Very
I know
worrisome.
like Joe Bob and then like said they're doing like the one more thing, but man, I am really worried that Shudder might be like fucked.
I don't know.
I hope
don't know
not.
If it's gonna...
Anyway, started to derail that.
That's
but
fine.
like
Did
I
it?
just got really
Did it?
worried.
We got a breaking news and break this into our
Sure,
normal
why
broadcast.
not? Just anyway, yeah, there was a bunch of layoffs at Shudder, and man,
AMC is letting a lot of people go throughout the companies and their subsidiary properties. A lot of people on Shudder have been posting their farewells on Twitter. So I don't know what this is going to look like. Joe Bob is a really big draw for them. So I can't imagine that would be the first thing to go. But I don't know if a creep show survives. I don't know if some of the others, like the drag show that they have that's pretty popular.
Dracula, whatever.
But
yeah.
the problem is, it's like a self-fulfilling not fantasy, but like
Prophecy.
prophecy, because they're going to cancel all this ancillary shit, leave Joe Bob, and there's just not going to be enough left.
Honestly,
to
Joe
warrant.
Bob's gonna find a new home. Something like that's just popular enough to where like someone else, HBO or some other streaming place, will pick them up. But it just sucks, man, because Shudder really was the first major like horror focused
Yeah.
streaming service, and for all their faults and all their what have yous, they've done an amazing job. Their app has been solid. They always are trying to get like new fresh shit out there. I didn't mean to derail this. I just got really like sad for a minute. I was like, oh no.
Well, I watched Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 through 5 on Shudder. You can watch it right now on
Shout
Shudder.
outs to Shudder. Get at us. We will single handedly save your streaming service.
I'm hoping, and again, they're not gone. We don't know what's going to happen with Shudder right now. But I'm hoping that maybe somebody comes along and buys it.
I hope they don't get folded into some other shitty
That's
service.
most
though.
likely what's going to happen.
It's probably, but
we're
like,
in the consolidation phase of streaming services now. I mean, it's just
which
too
we
many.
called what 2-3 years ago.
So most likely it'll get absorbed into some bigger, like HBO or Peacock or Paramount, basically like one of the real big ones.
But what you can do is you can tune into all the Joe Bob specials and everything else and give them some support.
Yeah,
that's
go
what they can
subscribe to
use.
Shudder.
Watch
And
all the Silent Night, Deadly Nights other than the first one.
There you go. John, that's your homework.
No way. Not a chance. Like, I've been a subscriber to Shudder since way back, so they've got my money.
All right. Now back to Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yes.
Your regularly scheduled program.
Man, that was great. That was like perfect unison, man.
You were saying,
I got I got nothing.
That's about right. That's John for 5 years.
Yes. I mean, I just don't like the movie. The quality, to me, it doesn't fall far enough to be too bad that it's good.
You don't like quality 80s B schlock.
Well, I don't know if this is quality. I'd rather watch
I
a
would
Chopping Mall.
Oh, God. Choppy Mall, of course.
Shopping Mall's hilarious too.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather watch that. I'd rather rewatch Death Spa, learn
Okay,
about lightning.
classic.
the moment I knew I was going to love this movie is as soon as old grandpa was like, beware the Santa Claus.
I lost my shit. I was like, yes. I'm on board.
None of this makes sense, and I'm okay with that.
That's the best.
It's like grandpa had a stroke. He can't speak. Parents leave the room. Billy, Santa's coming. It's like, oh no.
You better run.
It's the Ides of March coming at
Well,
you,
here's
Billy.
the question, though. How did fucking he know that?
It doesn't matter. It
Like,
doesn't matter.
did Grandpa have an event, too? Is one of the other Silent Night, Deadly Nights a prequel where they talk about what happened to Grandpa?
Absolutely not.
Well, then where the fuck is that movie modern day? Modern day? I mean, now, what the fuck year is it? 2022.
Yes.
Grandpa fought Santa in the war.
The elves are coming over Bunker Hill.
Pushed him back in the North Pole beaches.
And maybe you got to be in a certain mindset, probably wasted. And I acknowledge that I was not in that mindset. So I'll take some of the blame.
Look, John, I'll save you here. As someone who was fucking wasted and watched this movie, it wasn't great. It was really fun, but it was not a good movie. Like, and I love my shitty movies, but I like either I want an absolutely bonkers, absurd plot, which this didn't really have some weird crux, like lightning strikes a fucking like spa and then possesses a twin brother and, like a death spa type situation. Or anything like that. Like, you didn't have any kind of like crazy twist or turn, which I was kind of like waiting for something. But I gotta admit, though, I had a good time just like going like, there's no way they're just gonna do this. Okay. It was fun.
Do you want to know the only string of nostalgia I had in this movie is when they were in the toy store and we see all the 80s toys. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I remember that. I had that G.I. Joe costume.
That
I
was
had
cool.
that, and that. That was fun.
I didn't have any of that stuff.
Here's where I knew I
You were
wasn't.
poor.
I was poor, Mark. Yes. Thank you for bringing that trauma up.
I was also poor.
Obviously not. You had all
Obviously
the
not.
toys.
You're
Yeah.
swimming in G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures.
I had a grandma that would give me really dope presents. So
You would dive
I
into his
had 3
action
Jabba
figures
the
like
Hot
Scrooge
play sets.
McDuck.
I was good.
I had the one. Just the one Jabba.
You always need a backup Jabba just in case.
One
Those
is-
arms come off real easy.
Yeah, 1 is none, 2 is 1, Mark.
How is Jamba Juice not done a Jabba Juice tie-in?
Jabba juice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why would anyone want to drink that? That's why. No one's going to give you some of that juice of a job.
Good point. Juice of a Jabba.
See? That's why they haven't done it.
What's his little sidekick?
Yeah, I don't know what
What's
it
that
is.
guy's-
Salacious Crumb.
That's his name.
God, I only know that because one of my friends is a Star Wars nerd and tells me all this bullshit.
Could have him on the cup
Ooh, I like that.
for the Jabba
I
juice.
like that too.
Has nothing to do with what we're
No.
talking about right now, but I'm in.
I just really wish this story, this movie had like a better plot, like some kind of like twist or some kind of major inciting event. Like
Besides the murder.
that wasn't the death and rape of his. Well, did she get raped on the road or no?
No, he
it
just
was-
wanted to look at her tit.
Okay, I was really confused. I was
Yes.
like, wait a minute, is this dude Santa about to rape this mom in front of the
Look.
kid? And I was like, I can't deal with this right now.
Santa Robber just knew them tits needed to breathe.
I mean, if you're gonna murder, go all the way, I guess. But Jesus Christ,
That wasn't
was
all the
rough.
way. That was like,
Oh yeah, that's right. He didn't.
I did. At first, I was like, did he kill her? I didn't, because it was
Yeah,
very
he cut her throat.
Yeah,
at
I
one
got
point.
it eventually, but I was like, yeah, he looked like he was going in for the rape and then just gave up and was like, fuck this. And
He pulled an audible.
yeah, I knew I wasn't going to like this movie when Santa Robber was robbing the convenience store. And the,
Oh fuck, my favorite part of the
and
whole
the
movie.
convenience store clerk does not know how guns work because his gun was still like in his little cubby hole. And he's like, all right, listen here. And he's like, pull out the fucking gun first, dude. What are you doing?
I loved that. The Santa Claus walks in and just basically he's like, oh God, one of you fuckers. And I'm just like, whoa, it's a Christmas movie. And the first thing we see Christmas wise is full on Santa hate.
That's the most relatable character. He's like, what charity are you with, you dick?
He gets the gun pulled on him and he's like, oh boy, here we go again with these Santas. And I'm just like, dude, your life is in jeopardy, my man. Take some form of concern.
Well, that was the fifth holdup via Santa. That's when he got the gun.
Now, was that Christmas? It was Christmas Day. Yeah, because Billy was worried about
Christmas Eve because
he was worried about
Santa was
getting home.
coming. Yeah.
Right. So Billy, Ricky, and his parents are driving back
Which
from
one's Ricky?
The baby.
The baby.
Wait, there was a baby in. Oh, there was a baby in
You
the
didn't
car.
hear all the annoying crying?
He was
Oh, yeah.
kind of weird looking.
Oh yeah, because I actually got really worried. I was like, is he going to kill that baby too?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I was
he
so
can't.
worried the first time I saw
He's
it.
got to become garbage day.
Yeah, the thing is,
That's his destiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, didn't you hear it? It kind of like just said garbage day as it like panned over the baby.
Did they really?
No.
That'd have been amazing.
God, it was fucking shit faced. I don't remember a lot of this movie.
Good point. That's my bad. I can trick the drunk Garrett.
So his name is Ricky. Does they say that in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, okay. My other
He's playing
favorite
with
scene.
his brother in the snow at one point, and he's all like, "Where you going, Billy?" And I was like, "Don't worry, Ricky." And she's like, "Your brother will come." I was like, the only time I noticed, I was like, "Oh."
I'm gonna blast way ahead and just tell you my favorite scene
Yeah.
of the movie is when Officer Barnes blows away the wrong Santa Claus
God.
Yes.
right in front of Ricky.
You mean the deaf monk or the deaf priest? I was like, well, that's convenient.
He didn't respond whenever I yelled at him. That's because he's deaf. And I'm like, yes.
She tells that to the
perfect.
cop on one end of the phone, but not the person on the other phone.
Yeah.
He never relays that message. That dude just thinks he killed an innocent person.
Wait till he goes back to the station. Yeah. I would like to see, I imagine he's just driving his way there, just shooting every Santa on sight.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ho, ho, no. Bam. Yeah.
I love how little everyone was sad about that. They were just kind of like, oh, well, go inside.
He was going to die anyway. The guy was 80, so.
He said he was 50.
Mother,
Nuns react to everything with just like disdain and like non like effort. Just like, all right, kids, go inside. Oh, a guy with an axe, kids, just step away from him. And it's like, dude, have you seen this?
Step over the dead Santa. Come on, let's go.
can we agree that the real villain of the film is Mother Superior?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It made me angry to no end that she didn't get her comeuppance at the end of this fucking movie.
Well, the other nun was really cute, and I was like, oh, and then there was like that sex scene in the like.
You've
the
seen too many
orphanage.
porn parodies.
No, this is not a porn parody. This is
So
a
they
straight
do
up
have a
fantasy,
sex
bro.
scene in that orphanage, right?
Well, not with the nuns.
Oh, who was that person?
See, I thought that was a nun at first,
Yeah,
and I was
me
like, here
too.
we go.
I thought they were just riffraff, like in the fucking.
They were just random people.
They look like they were 25 years old, so I was like, do they work here? Like,
Okay, tell me this: did the two people fucking in the closet ever have another scene in the movie? Because I don't know.
they were in a bedroom, not a closet.
Well, it was like all the chairs were stacked against the side of the wall.
Maybe
It was
it's
like a
rec
storage
room.
room.
It was the rec room.
But what else? What other scene were they in?
Well, this whole time I thought it was that other
I think
nun.
they're
So
just a fucking.
So they're
was
just-
it an orphanage, a convent? What was it?
It's an orphanage.
Okay.
run by the church.
I think those people paid Mother Superior to come whip them. Knocking on them.
shit.
It's like
Yeah.
my fantasy is a really
Dude.
mean old nun to come and whip us.
Everyone shut the fuck up. Go on, Emma. I'm listening.
There is you definitely get the feeling that she's got some dominatrix stuff going on.
Oh, yeah,
under
what
the
kind
of- Oh, yeah.
nunnery.
She gets off on
Did you
it
pick
for
up
sure.
on that?
Yeah. I definitely picked up on that. Thank
So
you.
the movie starts out. Wait, where the fuck? Oh, in the car.
Mm-hmm.
In Utah. And the only reason I know it's Utah because in the credits it says Utah Film Division, and I was like, cool.
And it establishes the hell out of the Utah like nursing home that they're at.
Oh, is it say
Yeah.
Utah Nursing Home?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that
It's called
sign.
Utah Nursing Home
It
4.
zooms in on it for like a whole minute.
Every sign in this movie.
Well, they had to get to that 90 minutes, and apparently they cut a bunch of it because with its current scene, there's only an
how long
hour
was
and
the
20.
theatrical one?
I don't know, 15 minutes or so, I assume. Because as it is, it was only an hour and 24 minutes, so they need those sign scenes to fill it out.
Yeah, that's
that
like
movie-
30 minutes.
That is a running thing throughout all of the sequels too. They fucking show you everything. You watch a lady baste a turkey and put it back in the oven in movie 3.
Is it enough?
I'm not kidding. No, it's an old granny. You remember the restaurant Grandy's?
Yes.
Looks exactly like that.
Whoa.
Well, they do that, Mark, so that there's no questions. How did that turkey get back in the oven? You know now. You saw it happen.
Thank you, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now I
So
know how
we-
to baste a turkey.
So we start in an old car, and Billy, Ricky.
Well, it's a current car. At the time, it was the car.
It flashes on the screen, says 1971, which I thought was going to be important, so I wrote that down specifically. Let me tell you what was not important.
Yeah.
1971.
Well, it's important to know because then they're going to jump into the future.
3 years. I wrote that down too
Yes.
because I thought that was going to come into play.
No.
Guess I wrote down notes that have nothing to do with anything because I thought they were going to be important and they were not. Anyway, I thought the axe was going to be kind of like a Rosebud type thing where he was going to lose the axe and have to get it back. And no, didn't happen. Anyway, they're in a car.
There's an opening scene. Old Billy, he's dying. He goes, murder.
No, he goes, punish.
Oh, yes.
How did you miss that,
I don't
John?
know.
Come
This
on.
is why we brainstorm, right? It's a team effort.
So we're in a car. God, let me get us out of this car. We're in a car with Ricky, Billy, the mom, and the dad. I don't know if they have names. Who cares? They're going to go see Grandpa at their old folks' home. And Billy's really worried. He's like, hey, are we going to get home in time to see Santa? And she's like, oh, don't worry. We're going to get home in time.
Yeah. Billy's old enough to know that Santa comes when you're sleeping.
True.
Yeah, this cannot be his first Santa experience, but
Not his first Santa rodeo?
Yeah, he feels very unfamiliar with the rules of Santa. What time does Santa
Well,
come?
no, he was worried that
Come
they weren't
down
going to
there.
get home in time. So
Yeah.
he wasn't even worried that Santa wasn't going to come. He knows when he comes. He's just like, are we going to get there in time for Santa to be able to do this? And the mom,
he asked if he could
completely
stay
lying
up.
her ass off, is like, yeah, we got this. No
Well, because
problem.
I am Santa, so whenever I get there is when Santa's coming. Sorry, spoiler for all our listeners who don't know Santa isn't real.
All the children
Yes.
listening.
My bad. Maybe there's adults who are really into Santa. There's, could be.
So they get to the old folks' home and they hold on the sign for 40 minutes just in case you're a very slow reader. And then they go inside to see Grandpa, who is sitting with the goofiest grin / comatose look on his face. I thought he was going to laugh. Like the whole time, I thought he was going to start laughing. And they're like, Dad, are you there? And he's like, why won't Grandpa talk to us? As if this is the first time he's ever met Grandpa. And the mom's like, shh, shut up, Billy. And I was like, God.
You're scared, Grandpa.
So
they say that he's had a stroke and he's not talking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as the parents leave, as I said before, he starts yelling at Billy about the fucking Ides of Santa.
ever see Dubba Dubber 2, where Lloyd is basically faking being in a coma and like in comatose state for like 30 years just as a gag to get Lloyd or whatever?
That was in the trailer, I think. Yeah.
Oh God, I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "It's Grandpa been like pulling a fast one on his son for like 10 years."
He's like
'Cause
pulling
that's
the
fucked
long
up.
prank so he can do this to Billy. Like, ha! Santa's gonna come kill you.
First time you meet Grandpa, and he's like, "Ah, I'm not really dead."
When they go, like, I like to see a scene. They go to the administrator, like, dude, your father will not shut the fuck up. He just talks so much, and they're like, really?
He's just dead silent for him.
What's Grandpa's long game here? Pretend not to be able to talk for what purpose?
I think he's just tired of dealing with people's bullshit.
Yeah, I get it.
he cracked the code, man.
He's like, I'm just gonna be quiet.
Scaring children. He tells that same shit to every kid who comes in.
The doctor goes, I have your father's file. Come with me. I'll tell you what he's been up to. And I'm like, obviously nothing. Like, that's the whole crux of this scene.
Yeah, so the parents, they get taken away to, I don't know.
Taken away.
I assume
You would come with us?
that's just code for go have some whiskey, because, yeah, that file's got to be paper thin. He's been sitting, did a lot of staring.
He ate applesauce
Yeah,
yesterday.
barely, though. Most of it got on him. So he tells Billy, he's like, Billy, thing about Santa Claus is if you are bad, he's going to punish you. He only gives gifts to good people, but people like you get punished. Have you been good? No. Punished.
Barry's the lead with that question. He's I'm like, if you've been bad, you're fucked. And he's like, so tell me. And it's like, God, dude.
He doesn't
Poor
even,
Billy.
yeah, does not even care about Billy's answer. He's just like, you're going to get fucked by Santa Claus. All
We
right?
should probably phrase that a little
Not
bit
yet.
differently. It's a horror movie. And that's a possibility.
True. Santa is going to punish you and everyone that you love. Mom, Dad, Ricky, punish.
Because he does say punish a lot.
Yeah,
that's important.
It's one of his
I wrote
7
that
words.
down.
And so obviously Billy scared shitless. So it cuts back to the car where
He's not as scared as you'd think because he whispers to him, I promise I'll be good. Like after he goes back
I think
to
that was
being,
a trauma response. He's like, just don't punish me. Because when he's back in the car and in a safe space, he's like, fuck Santa. When is Santa coming again? Because we should be nowhere near.
Let's put the cookies on the doorstep so he doesn't come in. Also, wouldn't this just make him scared of Grandpa?
Well, no, Grandpa's
he
just
believes
delivering.
Grandpa. Yeah.
Grandpa helped him out. He was
Grandpa's got some history that we are not familiar with Santa Claus.
I would love to know more.
Do you think his wife cheated with Santa?
Grandpa caught mommy kissing Santa Claus.
There you go.
A la Christmas Evil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe that was Grandpa's origin story.
Yep.
Or
Boom.
Grandpa watched that movie on TV.
He survives the car wreck and goes to the old folks' home.
You're telling me this is Harry.
Yes.
This is Harry.
I don't know any names, but yeah.
He jumped that van right into the old folks home.
But it's funny because the mom's all like, he's like, well, Grandpa told me. She's like, Billy's not one to lie. I don't think he's lying. I think Grandpa talked to him. And the son's just like, dude, your dad's like comatose, and he actually talks, and he didn't care. And I was
Is
like,
it his dad? We don't know whose dad it is.
Yeah, they both call him dad.
Yeah, it could be that it's her dad, and he really does
maybe
not.
that's why he's fucked up.
Oh, there you go. And then it cuts to a convenience store where we see a Santa coming out of a red car. Very clever. And going into...
I guarantee you, Jot Shine said the same thing. Oh, we got to talk about my absolute favorite thing about this movie. The god-awful, horrific, shitty soundtrack of all the fake Christmas music.
Does not
Christmas
slap.
Fever.
Oh my God.
Which doesn't have anything to do with Christmas. The pool
No,
table.
dude, warm side of the door.
What was that?
Where the fire's bright and it's burning every night. Everybody will be there and they'll be smiling at me, and I won't need no more on the one side of the door.
Doors have a warm side?
I was like thinking when you're checking to see if there's a fire.
Yes. If your door is warm, danger.
But like,
But it's Christmas on that side.
the choir song that's playing during the holiday party, the pop music song that's playing in the pool table sex scene, that was like, I was like, oh, just a pop song. Okay. And then it was all like, and Christmas. And I was like, what the fuck? Is this actually supposed to be it's not like a porn soundtrack? And Bob Seger and like Wham all got together and was like, fuck it. Put it all in one.
Merry Christmas, baby. I guess I really tried one on about another party. I got along without you all night long.
It's so bad.
It's as if
they never heard music before.
Clearly, yeah. That's
it's as if Burt Reynolds' mustache made a Christmas album. That's what this is.
A little poppier, but yes, I like it.
I think they just found their like friends who were in a band who were like, come on, yeah, this is your big break. And this is what they came up with.
You hear Warm Side of the Door in its entirety.
Yes, you did.
From start to finish, we get that over a
That was the
montage.
original title for Dark Side of the Moon, but they had to change it.
So the clerk dies. He gets shot by robber Santa Claus.
Very dumbly.
He gets in his red car.
He gets shot twice, right?
Well, he gets shot 3 times. 2, my man does not fuck around. 2 in the chest, 1 in the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Santa
Wow.
Claus, this
Santa's
Santa
a pro.
has the best aim. He must have been special
he keeps shooting
forces.
people right in the head.
Just no problem.
Blah, 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 blah.
Cars backing away like 20 miles an hour. Not a problem for this guy.
He's driving backwards down the highway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I think he says something to the effect of, I only got like $30 out of that. I was like, you murdered a man for $30.
Yeah, that is true. Didn't even steal the cigarettes.
No, what a waste.
Yeah, those $80s.
That's a federal offense if you steal those cigarettes. They get the
Oh,
stamp.
that's true. Unlike murder, which is probably just a state crime.
Look, in Utah, who knows what the laws are?
So then cuts back to
The Billy car.
the Billy car.
That sounds weird. The car with Billy's family in it.
Billy Mobile.
And they come up to the red car, pulled off to the side with the hood open, right? So they pull over and
Well, the mom's smart. She's like, just drive by. And then they see it's Santa, and she's like, ooh, wait a
yeah.
minute.
Now they're like, oh, maybe Billy would like this.
Yes. Yeah.
Not until they see Santa, though.
Yeah, but he just said he's scared
Meanwhile,
of Santa.
yeah, Billy's
Oh,
like,
God, they do not listen to Billy at all.
don't stop, floor it, fuck this Santa. So,
And they're like, come on, it's just Santa.
yeah. And it's like, y'all, not every Santa's a good Santa.
He swaggers up to that car as if like he's just like, I mean, he's just shimmying up like, hey, what's up?
America was gullible in 1984. We just hadn't got there yet.
I guess
you know what I mean?
so.
A healthy fear of Santa did not exist at this time.
But you know, isn't that like the peak of the like satanic panic and all your kids are getting
right.
kidnapped every 3 seconds? You'd think they'd be more suspicious, but
well,
nope.
Santa and
That's
Satan.
why that was happening.
Yes, that's probably true. Yeah, that's why they're getting away with it all. They're just so the Santa walks up. They roll down the window. The guy's like, "What's wrong with your car?" Nothing. Bam, bam, bam. Starts blasted.
No, he pulls out the gun and she's like, floor it. And I was like, good call. And he like floors it back. And then like, again, the crack shot of Santa, he just aims one shot, blows the dude away through the front windshield. The car hits the ditch. And I was like, God, this guy has like killed everybody in one shot
Perfect.
almost.
It's incredible.
This man was a Green Beret.
Yeah.
Before he put on the red suit.
Must be, dude. He barely even aims. Maybe he's robotic.
Robot. Okay, anyway. Let's stop John before he runs down this path. Anyway. So
Santa bot.
Yes, I'm telling you.
So at this part, the car crashes in the ditch next to it, and little Billy, being the hero that he is, leaves his brother and his mom and just runs away
he's
from the
like
car. No, fuck that
5.
kid. Step up, little man.
And he's already so scared. And Grandpa said, if you see Santa, run away.
Okay, so he's following orders.
Yes. No, I mean, what did you want him to do? Fight the guy?
I would love if he just got up on the car and then had a knife and just cut his
All right,
chest.
seeing it.
Billy from Predator. There you go.
Yeah.
He's got a long way to get to that, Billy.
It's just like, it's me and you, Santa.
Anyway, so he runs off and hides in like the most unhidden bunch of brush ever. Does he come up and
So
Santa
he
comes up and
drags
grabs
the
the
mom
wife?
out, and he rips open her shirt to look at her tits.
Well, the dad falls out of the car for no reason.
Yes.
And they show that scene like twice more in the movie, like later on when Billy's flashback.
They
And I was like,
slowly zoom in on it.
When they start replaying earlier parts of this movie, I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, Jesus, what's happening?
They really wanted to show you the special effects that they put the effort into.
You wouldn't know how traumatic it is if we didn't show it again with splotches of white flashes.
Dude, I mean, the guy's slump game is good. I'll give him that. He slumped out of that seat exceptionally well. Well done, dude.
Look, gravity wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
how do you or someone you love up their slump game?
Just practice. I fall out of every chair.
Bad Santa goes and grabs the mom and rips her out of the car and throws her to the ground in the middle of the road. The middle of the road. Now, at this point, I was like, okay, this can go one of two ways. Because he actually is going to kill her. But no, at some point, he decides, gotta see some tits.
Well,
So-
he's originally, I think his plan A is rape. But then he finds out that this is going to be, he's like, this is probably too much work. So then he just sees some tits and kills
You
her.
think it was a matter of effort?
Yo, yeah, I mean,
A man who basically has gone through all he has tonight, he's going to stop because of that.
I mean, that's how I read the movie. Because she was beating the shit out of him, and he was like, calm your fucking tits down. And he
Bad choice of words in this point, but yes.
This guy was just a jack of all crimes. I didn't know what exactly was he trying to do with this spree.
I thought he was gonna carjack them, but then I don't.
He only got $31 from the store. What do you think these people were going to have?
We
He was
never
taking out his aggression with the $31 on her.
So we never actually get any resolution with this character. It just he gets away.
No, that's it. That's it.
And then we cut to 74.
There's 6.
Well, he slits the mom's throat. After he decides that he's
Right.
not going to potentially rape her, he just slits her throat in the middle of the thing. And then he gets up and he's like, where'd you go, you little shit? And I was like, oh, man, he's looking for Billy. And I thought he was going to find him because Billy is not well hidden. But then he stops. And then they keep cutting back to the baby crying in the car. And I was like, here we go.
I was like, no, don't kill the baby.
Oh, I thought they were.
I get it. The baby had to cry, but oh my God, it felt like they let that baby cry for so long. So long. It was really annoying.
It wasn't that long.
He wasn't sad. He was just annoying.
He's like, somebody kill that baby already. God.
Shut that baby up. Jeez.
Silence that lamb.
John's a real Scrooge this year, isn't he?
Guess so. I knew they weren't going to kill the baby.
This scene doesn't resolve. It just stops. It doesn't show the cops
No.
showing up. It doesn't show anything. Like I
Why
literally
would the cops show up?
murders. I don't know.
Like, you mean like way later?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought
We
you
don't-
How
meant,
does,
like, right
Billy,
then.
how does Billy and the baby get saved? We don't know.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
But they live, and
Yes.
now they're in an orphanage in 1974.
But here's a good movie opportunity. Billy versus that guy in a battle.
Like Kill Billy?
Yes.
Is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's a gender reverse Kill Bill.
I was
I don't know why I like that so much.
I was thinking more he's
I
going
do.
for revenge and he's finding the man who killed his parents. Doesn't even cross his mind, though. Not even a thought. He'd rather just kill random strangers. Yeah, so now we're in an orphanage and Billy is 3
How do we know
years
we're in an
older.
orphanage, though?
Oh, good question. Don't worry. The movie lets you know 72 minutes on a sign. You just sort of watch it in like time lapse.
3 years later.
So we established the hell out of the fact that we're at an orphanage.
Solid.
And we're introduced to Billy in a classroom where he's drawing a picture of a Santa Claus with a dozen knives in him and Rudolph beheaded.
Later on, they're like, every Christmas, Billy, acts out. But instead of like reviewing his drawing or anything, they're like, Billy, you haven't shared your drawing. Why don't you come up here and traumatize all these children? And he does. He shares that picture and the kids wild out.
And as someone who's been sent to the principal's office and had to go to counseling for drawing explicit pictures when I was a kid, we all drew superheroes beating people up.
Obviously, yeah.
But yeah,
No,
she
but-
overreacts. She goes crazy on
Well,
him.
it is an orphanage and a Catholic one, I assume, because there's nuns. So, they're not used to seeing beheaded reindeer.
They know he's gone through some kind of terrible trauma, and they just are like, "Oh, why is he doing this?"
Doesn't one does say, like, aren't you happy you got your wish? You're proven right. He's messed up.
Yeah, that's
and I was
later.
like, Jesus, what? Are you going to do anything about it?
Well, they placed the bet, right? And then this is all riding on a bet.
Yeah.
She pulls out $5, like, you're right.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck the kid. We just wanted to make sure the bet went through. But there is one nun who's sympathetic
Yes.
towards
Always.
Billy throughout the entire film. Mother Superior, however, is of the, we're going to train the badness out of him by being assholes to the kids. And it's like, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that's worked Christianity, hasn't it?
So she tells him, you don't get to leave this. You go to your room and you don't leave it till I say you get to leave it. And obviously that does not work out. But it's really the other nun's fault. Poor Billy. He gets really
Yeah.
set up for failure.
Yeah, he tried not to leave too because she's like, "It's okay."
Yeah, I
saying
said
you
it's
can leave."
fine.
Yeah.
And then she just fucking hangs him out to dry.
He's banished to his room by Mother Superior. Then another nun comes in and is like, it's okay. You can come out. Mother Superior wants best for you. And what's best for you is to come out to recess and hang out with the children.
There's a real power struggle going on here.
Clearly.
And we also find out that Billy has forgotten the tragic events.
I don't know if he's forgotten or else it's kind of like he's tried to repress.
Well,
They
yeah,
said
claim
he doesn't
remember.
remember.
I think that he maybe isn't sharing it with
I see.
Steve. I thought it was a combination.
Yeah,
like
I
he
think
couldn't
that's what it
clearly
was.
remember, but
I
like,
can remember some stuff when I was like that young, but it's not super clear. But
Plus, would you tell these people that you remember?
yeah, you
this?
wouldn't tell
I
Mother
wouldn't.
Superior
Yeah.
shit. Like, tell her whatever
I
she
mean,
wants to
maybe
know.
whenever they're trying to make me sit on Santa's lap, like I'd be like, Santa killed my parents.
Well, they know that too, don't they? Or wait,
They
does anybody know that Santa
I don't think
killed
they
the parents?
know. I mean,
You think they just
I
think the
don't think
parents
that-
are
Oh,
gone?
how
They
would
have
they
no
know?
idea.
Yeah, they just think that he
Well, that's
saw
another
them get
thing,
murdered.
because how do they find the dead parent? Like, there's some story here we didn't
Yes,
get.
but
Mark
Billy
touched on
doesn't
that. It
share
just
how they were
jumps.
murdered. Like if he didn't say the
But how
Santa
does that
part,
story not get on the local news of like someone murders? Because Billy would have been like, it was Santa.
maybe he
Talking to the
didn't
cops.
though.
You
Maybe
think
he
he
went
kept
like
that at the
mute
time,
for a
too?
while. Like that happens
Like
with kids
Grandpa.
sometimes. Oh my god!
Maybe it's a time travel movie, and that is Billy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Love it.
Are you 12 monkeying this shit right
I
now?
love
I'm gonna make this movie good one way or the other.
Oh, I love that.
Keep the microphone so much. I'm sorry, listeners.
That would be the best twist of this movie ever.
Billy, I'm you from the future. Avoid Santa.
This is Santa's. This is his 10th time through this loop. He's
Billy comes out of his banishment immediately and goes straight to a door that's shut with a lock keyhole, and he looks in and sees people fucking.
Such a big key.
I know.
These people are. I mean, they're like the whole place could hear them. They were.
Right.
They were not trying to hide at all. Which
I guess maybe they thought everybody was outside for recess,
Yes,
and
it
they're
was
like, let's
recess
go
time.
bone in the storage room.
every single
On like
person.
a pile of mattresses with no sheets.
I thought I was like, ew, put a sheet down, something, a towel.
Yeah, look how you became British. Put a sheet down.
Yeah.
I'm offended.
I think they were very young, so maybe they're just making
We've
do.
all fucked in some really questionable places in our youth. Okay,
They were
Let's
young.
Not,
They
Not a
weren't.
dirty old orphanage mattress.
Well, I mean, a
well,
lot
the
of
cool kids have.
You gotta speak for yourself, Mark.
Well,
Yeah, Emma gets it.
How did they even get it? Who are these people?
I don't know who they are. They're transients off the street.
Well, I thought maybe are they the older kids that haven't been adopted? They're like teenagers.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
dig that. Because Mother Superior mostly is mad at Billy.
But you only see young kids at this place, so it was definitely kind of like who are these two at first?
Yeah. I
maybe
mean,
the
I still
count-
don't know for sure.
Maybe they're like assistants or something that work
Look,
there.
you got to stop this, John. You're never gonna like lock this
All right,
down.
strangers are banging in this orphanage, and nobody seems to mind. Billy gets in trouble for watching them.
Right,
and
Mother
she goes in there
Superior.
and starts whipping them.
No, he goes outside. Doesn't he?
No, Mother Superior comes up. She thrusts him out and then goes into the room and starts like, "You bad naughty kids," and then gets a whip out and was like, "Oh."
I think that was
She full on belts that
that
kid.
was planned though. To Emma's point earlier, because that's how she caught Billy. She had that belt ready to
You
go.
think she told the kids to go fuck so she could catch Billy's
Right.
spine?
They paid her for the whipping.
I get it now. This is all a trap for Billy.
No, I don't think it
This
was
is the Truman Show of like
I
Billy's
don't think it was to trap Billy. I think those people paid the Mother Superior to
Oh my
bang in
God,
the orphanage
John.
and get whipped.
Okay.
Billy got caught just in the crossfire. That's
But
what I
she's
think.
got to pretend like it wasn't planned.
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
surprised.
listeners, I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's get back to this.
This is the 5th couple of teens I've had to whip this week. So she goes outside and she's like, "What'd you see, Billy? Huh? What'd you see?"
Well, then you said she goes outside. How did Billy get outside? Because didn't she go outside and say, "Billy, get inside"? And then
No,
like,
she sent Billy away to
Yeah.
go whip the kids, the other kids,
oh,
Yeah.
with the other
Yeah.
kids
to whip the fornicators.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while he's sitting outside, they're building a snowman. She comes back out and is like, "What'd you see in there? Did you know what you saw?" He's like, "Nuh-uh." He's like, "Good. But you know what you did? You left your room. You're fucked now, kid." I don't. And then he's punished
Oh,
again.
and she says that they were naughty.
They tie him to the bed.
Yes.
Okay, I feel even in 1974, I don't think you were allowed to tie kids to a bed.
He goes to bed and he starts having a nightmare.
Oh, right.
So then he
His
gets up in the
parents
middle of
get
the night and Mother Superior freaks out and then ties him to the bed frame while he's like, "No, no, no." And
Please,
it's like,
not this.
Well, all the kids are out in the hall too. They're like, "Holy shit, Billy's having another Santa nightmare again." And then everyone's just like, "This is normal."
Well, and they tried to force him to sit on Santa's lap.
yeah, that's coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
So the next morning,
They untie him from the bed.
Just to traumatize them more.
all the kids are unwrapping their presents and there's a weird ADR line as Mother Superior's walking through the crowd saying, "I see nothing but greed when there should be gratitude."
Which did not.
and her mouth doesn't move.
Right, but also did not match what was happening on the screen at all. These kids are having the time of their lives. They're all playing with their toys, throwing a football around.
This happens a lot in this movie because later on when the kids are singing at the end, no kids' mouths are moving and it's like this whole choir singing. I was like, these kids aren't singing.
Yeah, no.
A lot of ADR in this movie.
But they're like, Christmas isn't quite over yet. We've got the annual Santa Claus to come sit down and kids to tell them what they want, even though
I
they
know,
just
Christmas
open
Day.
They already
there, bud.
came.
They already opened all their presents. Why are we doing this backwards?
He's coming
Orphanage.
to check in on the kids and make sure they like their presents.
Did you get what you wanted? No, that's a whipping.
So Emma's got to be right then. He didn't tell anybody it was Santa because no one would make a kid go sit on Santa's lap if they
Oh.
know
They're
that.
pretty evil.
They tied him to a bed, Garrett. They would do anything to this kid.
And then they drag him into the room, and he's like, "No!" And then even the Santa restrains him on his lap.
Even if you don't know why would you force this kid to go through this experience?
Look, we were all
Look.
forced to sit on Santa's
Not
lap
like
in the
that,
mall.
though.
I think what you guys don't know is that Mother Superior was actually an assistant to Dr. Mengele and back in fucking German Nazi.
Oh, you know what? I believe it.
So she's like, "You'll see my methods will work. Sit him on the Santa."
Now,
Oh,
is-
it's like exposure therapy.
Right.
Like, oh.
but aren't you
you're-
supposed to start smaller than sitting on the lap?
Put him directly into the trauma zone, please.
But then he punches him right in the nose,
love
knocks
that-
him over.
Okay, I have like 7 notes about that scene alone, and it's just like, damn, Billy knocked that old man cold. Like, down, his nose is bleeding all over the Santa beard. I'm like, Billy's got a right hook. I guess this
Right?
goes back to Billy's foretold superpowers that he's going to have later
Yes.
on. Because Billy is like the Hulk inside a tiny child body. He
When it
knocks that
comes to
dude
Santa
off the
stuff.
chair.
Yeah.
True.
Well, look, 1984 Billy is fucking a beefcake.
In those 10 years,
He is
Isn't he,
a
though?
big old dude in denim.
This is the next scene, right? Where like it's the cool nun. She's like, "Mr. Sims, I need to get Billy a job," and he's like, "I don't hire kids." And she's like, "But Billy's not a kid. Look!" And it's like, "Wow, wow, 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 wow!" And I'm like, "Jesus Christ, Billy!"
It's like Mr. Sims is checking him out, though.
Yeah,
It's
no,
such
that's
a
what I'm saying.
slow
It's like the sexy
pan,
music.
like-
It's like, dude.
well, then the nun is.
And then he goes, "He'll do." And I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
this movie just got really fucking weird."
Well,
and that's saying something because this movie has been really weird.
Sims is getting a little warm side of the door right now behind them trousers. You know what I'm saying?
I do. And then the nun was very snarky, though. She's like, "You're right. You wouldn't want a boy for this job." And I was like, "Okay, Billy's been laying
We've
pipe."
got to stop saying things a certain way. This is getting really. We're going to be clipped really out of context in this episode.
And I was like, "All right, Billy, get some." But
Garrett walks away.
He killed Garrett.
God, dude, no. Don't never seen.
So he gets hired to be a stock boy. All of this was to...
And then the wonderful montage of Billy stocking shelves to warm side of the door.
Scene.
Oh my God, it's
Get
so
a montage
long.
scene with a terrible song also.
Well, it might be the best song in the movie, though.
And I won't need no more on the one side of the door.
I hope they released it as a single so I could get like on 8-track or
maxi
something.
single.
Okay, yeah. You know, what would be the B-side, the warm side of the door?
Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It's such a heartwarming long montage of him just doing his job, being happy.
I couldn't tell. Was he flirting with Cheryl or Colleen? What the fuck?
Pamela?
Pamela. I was so close.
Yeah.
He had a thing for Pamela.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, am I picking up on this?
Yeah.
What really doesn't make any goddamn sense, though, is the nun that got him a job is aware of his traumatic history with the Santa Claus issue.
Okay, so then
Let's get him a job at his toy store.
At Christmas.
Yeah. But in
Okay, nun. Good job there.
in the nun's defense, he's meant to be in the back. And
It's still like in the fucking trauma zone. He's like,
Yeah.
it's trauma, like, you know, adjacent.
get him a job at like the bank.
He seems like he might be past the trauma some. I think it was
Again, we're missing so much information. 10 years go by of, I'm assuming he's punched mall Santas across America.
well, they
You know
don't
what I
even
mean?
let him near every
He went on
Santa.
a fucking punching tour, at some point to find himself.
he's
Billy's
famous.
never left Utah. Let's be honest.
That's why the other Santa didn't come. He found out Billy was working there. It was like, never mind.
But you
I
see what
don't-
I'm saying? Like, we're missing so
Well,
many
yes.
Christmases that, like,
Yeah.
if he was rehabilitated, we should have saw that.
They didn't have time because they needed a stocking montage.
It's not like you can avoid Santa. Like, it'd be one thing if we're talking like, oh, it's Arbor Day and you didn't get an Arbor Day card or something. Like, this is Christmas. Santa is everywhere.
It's the biggest holiday of the year.
Yeah.
You know,
to you.
in the movie's
To
defense,
America.
he does seem a little bit rehabilitated.
Yeah. That's
what I'm saying.
He's able to see that other Santa working there, and he doesn't like it, but he doesn't freak out.
Still, like, tremoring and
Well, yeah,
stuff.
but I
When the
mean-
sign gets unfurled after the montage, he starts shaking, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Yeah.
Billy.
But doesn't like run over and beat the shit out of him.
There's a lot of little things that have to go wrong for him to become the crazy
takes time to
Santa.
deal with trauma.
The movie knows exactly what needs to happen here. So what happens is that the Santa Claus that they have hired has broken his ankle ice skating, and the Mrs. Peacock, whatever the hell her name was,
She takes so long to tell him what it is.
you won't guess what happened. Someone's calling in sick. Do you want to take a stab in the dark? Which one it is? It's a man in red that goes ho ho ho. It's like, okay, fucking just say the Santa Claus
Yeah.
can't make it.
I missed this scene completely.
Yeah.
Oh, the Sims and
How did you think Billy got set to be the Santa?
yeah.
He was drunk when he was watching
Oh,
it. He's
God.
probably asleep for a minute.
Well, he's
No,
just-
I was awake the whole time, but
he's like, wait, Billy was Santa in this movie?
No, I know. Well, the thing is like I remember they're like you can do it, and he just like smiles and is like, okay, and I'm like, dude, what? No, say no. You can say no.
Sims goes, aha, I know the guy that matches the physique of a jolly fat man.
Yeah.
Which is
Billy.
not Billy.
Yeah.
Billy the hunk.
They even say when he's wearing the outfit at first, look, he's nice and fat and jolly. And I'm like, what? No, he's not.
No,
that guy has
this
no
was a
fat on him.
Sims
Yeah.
moment of like, you know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get Billy to wear this Santa outfit for me.
The only time Santas look like this was in the fireman's catalog for December. The calendar, rather. How about that?
I like the catalog of firemen. I'll take F2, please.
Regardless, yeah, the Sims, like even Joe Pesci or whoever the hell was in the back stock room would have been a better
Joe
Santa Claus.
Latrulio is who I thought that would be at that age. I was like,
was-
man, this guy is just like, what do you think you're doing? This is my turf. You understand? I'm the toy guy here. And I'm just like, dude, calm the shit down, man.
Watched a lot of Rebel Without a Cause as a kid. It was just maybe
I think that's because he knew Colleen was gonna
Pamela.
Don't
Colleen.
you get so mad at me. Like you haven't listened to our podcast before. I can't remember these people's names. You get
Keep
so
getting mad at him. Someone
I
needs
always
to.
get mad at you when I listen.
Wow. Anyway, I'm quitting the podcast. Like, you think he's only like that because he knows Pamela likes Billy more?
Oh, yeah. I
Okay.
think that's why he's like threatened by him. Because,
Okay.
he's like a little scrawny guy, and then there's big, handsome Billy.
Yeah, but he's as dumb as a
Shout
sack
out
of
to all the
hammers,
little
though,
scrawny
so.
guys out there.
Pamela doesn't care.
Pamela doesn't care.
She's probably Mormon. She's just looking for a good guy to take care of
This is
her.
like her ninth job. She
Got
keeps
him there,
getting
yeah.
people fired from other jobs.
Tony Lippy or whatever this guy's name is saying something to the effect of like
Timmy the Fingers, I
Timothy-
believe.
right, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the one gets made up for not remembering names. This is some bullshit, man.
I don't remember them ever saying this guy's name.
Tony Legs. I don't know. Who knows?
He's like, you've been real weird the last 3 weeks. You're not doing your work, and unless I grind your gears, like you don't get anything done. Like, so it's like, okay, so Billy's been fucking up on the job already. Is it because of the holiday season, right?
Could be.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's doing all that well with the Christmas stuff.
You got
So-
it
Ryan
right.
is best.
Yeah.
His best is not Christmas best, okay? We need 110%. This is the biggest season of the year, baby. We got toys to sell.
We had a work montage. We should have seen him get better at what he does.
Right.
Why do they have so many people working at that toy store? I don't think he needs to give 110%. There's like, what,
Yeah.
4 or 5 people working there?
Seems
All I'm hearing
overstaffed.
It's like a huge toy store.
All I'm hearing is
Why?
there's the fat to trim.
Yeah.
Iris Toys was
Yeah.
the name of this place because they held on that sign for a long time too.
They did.
You know, the producer's name of the movie is Ira, so I'm assuming that's
do
why
you
they
think
named
that's
it
Oh
why?
that.
my God.
Anyway, Billy's now in full Santa regalia, and he's not having a good time.
With that little
he's forcing
girl.
the kids, to like sit in his lap, like you
But
sit
it's-
still.
That's so awkward. It's so long that she's just trying to get away, and everyone's just watching. And he's like,
basically
"Stop."
got her in a headlock. He's like, don't you fucking move. Don't you fucking move.
What do you want for Christmas?
It's like, look, you're going to get punished. She's
Yeah,
like, oh,
you're
shit.
being naughty. You better stop, or Santa's gonna punish you.
I never want a Santa to say that to a kid.
Dude, I don't ever want to
I'll
Santa
punish
to,
you.
I don't ever want to Santa to manhandle a kid. I feel like some other adult probably should have got in there and been like, okay, thank you, Billy. Like,
They're all just watching and smiling, and they even say like, he has such a way with kids.
a bad way.
Oh, I know. They said, and then the kid runs over to the mom, and is like, "Mommy," and like starts crying, and she's like, "Oh, Sally." You're just
How
like,
come all these kids are walking away with shiners? Ah, Billy's just got away with the kids, you know?
Dude, it's a miracle we made it out of the 80s. I'll tell you what.
Well, that happens, and so now it's time to party. What? No, I had the line written down because they close, and Mr. Sims says, "It's 7 p.m. It's over. Time to get shit-faced." And I was like, "This is the best boss in the world."
Yeah, I'm like,
Also, what closes at 7 p.m.?
A toy store
Yeah.
apparently on Christmas.
Was it Christmas?
Well, it's Christmas Eve.
Was it Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of this movie takes place on Christmas Eve. So there's just 3 of them.
Okay.
there's a lot of drinking happening in this toy store. During the montage scene, when the clock strikes noon, I know that because they showed the clock, and then they all went to lunch.
Yeah, Joe Latrulio and
He's sitting there pouring some J&B in a fucking styrofoam cup, and Billy ain't going to partake in that because he's a good boy.
And Billy goes, "No, I've got milk in a container." And I was like, "Jesus Christ, Billy!" It's like, grow the fuck up.
But yeah,
Drink milk in a jug like normal people.
Do you think you don't get to Billy's size without drinking containers of milk, okay?
Look, that's why I drink milk. All right.
He's the guy in the mirror in the commercials that we all aspire to, you know,
Yes.
as a little kid looking in the mirror. So the Christmas party is pretty lame. It's like 5 bottles of booze and like maybe a finger tray of
Everyone is
sandwiches.
having
There
a
was
blast.
like a bag of Fritos.
It's like, okay, great.
I love how he's like, time to get wasted. He starts slamming them right away.
They used all their
He
food
wasn't
money on
kidding. When he said at
beverages.
7 p.m. it's time to get shit-faced, Mr. Sims was on his way.
And then he just keeps calling Billy Mr. Santa for the rest of the evening. It's like, buddy, you don't understand. Like, do they not see this kid in a fugue state? Like Walter Whiting down the fucking toy
Mark,
aisles right
was
now?
that a meet cute? Because he goes, "You're the best Santa I've ever seen." I was like, dude, get over it, man.
Mark, they are like blackout drunk by 7:03. So it's a miracle they can still talk to Billy.
It's a
Now,
good point.
did the other old lady hook up with Mr. Sims? Because
I think it feels like
we
she had
cut
a thing for him.
Oh, they were about to.
Because Colin, I think they might have because Colleen, no, not Colleen, Pamela and Tony Lippo or whatever he called him.
Tony Lippy.
He's like, come to the back with me. And then Pamela, who has had no interest in this dude the whole movie, is like, sure, why not? As if she doesn't know what's going to happen.
But
in the
she
back
doesn't.
room.
She's stupid.
Yeah.
Because it shows that she's like,
Her and Billy
she
deserve each
said-
trouble then.
She said, if you had a present for me, why didn't you just show everyone out there? And he goes, that's because I can't show everyone.
she
he goes,
didn't
go
say
in the
that.
back.
Yes.
Yes.
That
and
happened.
then, yeah.
Oh,
and then she
Pamela.
still follows
She's
him
like,
in the
what,
back.
31 years old? How does she not know this?
She's like, I love secret presents.
Oh, Utah. You
She's
sweet
fresh off
summer
the
child.
farm.
Okay, well, so they go to the back to do that,
Yeah.
and then Billy disappears for a minute, and then we cut back to Mr. Sims and the old lady, and she's like buttoning her blouse, and I'm like, what the
Oh.
fuck just happened here? And I was like, yo, what is going on with this toy
I
store?
don't know. Mr. Sims seems like he was too drunk for that. I think
That's
he'd get some
possible.
whiskey dick there.
Maybe. Anyway, so Billy hears a noise come from the back. The stupidest line of, I have a secret present for you, somehow almost worked. And then he starts getting real handsy with her. And she's like,
No, he gets real rapey.
Yeah, he's trying to rape her.
Oh.
Which is like, dude, aren't y'all coworkers? You're gonna have to see her the next day. Like, what?
First, he like tries the nice guy approach, and then immediately, when she puts up the slightest resistance, jumps to rape. It's like, dude, just ew.
No, it's bad.
Yeah.
And all these rapists just take the tits out and then do nothing else.
Yeah. Well, I think
They just kind of rub on them after.
they don't know what to do. They just get confused. They're like, I didn't expect to get this far. Billy sees this, and I think this is like when he really snaps, right? Like,
Yeah,
a lot
he
of
sees the similarities.
Well, yeah, we have a flashback of him seeing
Yes.
his mom on the road getting like pseudo raped, and then we see the like, and
Yes,
then we,
it's like, wow, I've seen this before.
and then we see the kids fucking in the nunnery,
Right.
And then so like then he's like, wait a minute, naughty, this, it all adds up, you know.
And now he's Punisher Billy.
Yeah.
And
Punish.
and then he goes and kills Andy by hanging him with Christmas lights and
With one hand?
Yeah, like Garrett says, just with one hand. I mean, the guy's built, but
Like
that
you
seems-
hold the fish for a picture,
Yes.
and he's like, I got it.
And Pamela is showing just how dumb she really is. Being 6 inches away from a murder goes, what are you, crazy? It's like, you should be like, yeah, Billy, that's the ticket. You know, play
Yeah.
into like,
He
don't.
was gonna let her go.
Right. Until she starts going
Like,
crazy.
He said I had to do something, or remember, and then she's just like, no, you're crazy. And then he's like, all right, you're naughty too.
Yeah.
So she takes a box cutter to the abdomen and he slices upward and she just bleeds out. So Sims drunkenly says, I got to go check on that noise. And then he wanders back and takes a hammer to the head.
No, this is what says the best. He goes, I think I heard something. And she's like, did you? He's like, nah. And he goes, then they finish getting dressed and he goes, I definitely heard something. I'm going to go check it. I was like, God, you guys are bad at this.
And he drunk walks so slow, and they show his entire
Yes.
walk.
I like to think the director's like, walk slower. We got time to slow it down. Poor dude. He didn't even do anything wrong. He was just wrong place, the wrong time.
And then Billy
Pamela
runs
didn't
out.
do anything wrong. She
That's
just
true too. Yeah.
talked back. Honestly, he was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
Look, people were naughty. They have to be punished. That is the moral of this movie.
Billy locks up the shop and then he's going to go get the Miss Peacock.
What did she do wrong?
Existed.
He saw too much.
Billy loses
It got real dark.
Yeah. Well, he loses the plot here a bit on punishing people. I
See,
think
this is what I was
Maybe
unclear
they're
on.
drinking. You know, like, I mean, they are in Utah.
He did
You
drink
know?
too, though.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
Sims gave him some alcohol.
He should have killed
Billy's a
himself.
real hypocrite.
Yeah.
So I couldn't. This is the part where I started getting really confused with the story because I was like, wait, why is Billy doing this now? Because the other people I could get, but this I was like, this is just a pointless murder. Also, the stupidest murder in the whole thing. He shoots her with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Like, no one has a real bow and arrow in a toy store.
Oh, they did.
In like the 80s.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
the era of lawn darts, all right? Trust me, sharp
Look,
objects
I've been
were
stabbed
around.
by a lawn dart. All right, I'm aware how lawn darts.
See, it was really like a PSA about like what to buy your kids for
Yeah.
Christmas. Like, be careful or they'll murder you.
Is this though? Like they're in a fucking toy store, and he's like bow and arrow, and I'm like, really?
No, the best is how long she waits to smash that window. She could have been out of there. She waits so even when she gets like
Well, she
shot,
knows Mr. Sims
she
will be
doesn't
pissed.
stab. She
Yes.
doesn't break it.
Well, she had gotten the better of Billy by hiding behind a blow up raft, and when he came around the corner, she shoved some garbage on him and then stole his axe.
Knocks him cold.
Yeah. So she's like, you're right, Emma. She's in mid swing to break open the door, and he's like, "Hey, look!" He's like, she turns around and looks, and then it takes an arrow to the gut.
He's like, I can't believe that worked.
So she's dead, and then he leaves the building, and they would have crossed in the parking lot. The nun walks in, not even a full 30 seconds later.
Maybe she saw Billy but didn't know it was Billy because he's in a Santa outfit. And he's like,
No,
Billy
but
would
she
never.
knew he was being forced to play Santa. That's why
that's
she
right.
came there.
Which again, he had to tell somebody that Santa killed his parents.
Well, she knew that he hates Santa.
Yeah.
He's punched out Santa before.
But she acted like she knew something was up.
Well,
though.
maybe in the past, Billy has killed a Santa.
You think she's been hiding Santa bodies all this time?
So, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the whole playground of that orphanage littered with Santa bodies.
They're all buried in that weird shed that has the stairs down there.
Yes.
Whatever that room was.
That's the Santa graveyard.
It cuts to a bunch of people caroling, and then the camera decides to slowly pan through the carolers as if the cameraman's like, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, coming over. And it goes up to a fucking window. And then inside the window is people playing pool.
Well, they're not playing pool. They're on the pool table, making out and getting down. This is Leanna Quigley.
Look, they play pool their way. Don't judge.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't have a permit to film, so they really did just walk through some carolers, all right?
My favorite fucking line is said by the dude who's macking on Leanna Quigley. He goes, 2 balls in the corner pocket.
2 balls in the corner pocket.
It's like, all right.
She flashed him the look of like, fuck you. Like,
Well, yeah,
she gave him
that's
the
so
stupidest,
stupid.
like, I think that was ad-libbed. That had to be ad-libbed because she gave him this look of like, I fucking hate you.
And still only the second stupidest line in this movie, because someone still did use, I have a secret present for you, and that worked. So
as they're getting down, the younger sister like shows up at the bottom of the stairs and she's like,
Denise, that Leanna Quigley's character is Denise.
okay. She's like, Denise, what are you doing? She's like, don't you come down here. And it was
like Santa's gonna think you're bad if you're awake.
And then she's like, I'm coming down. And then like the boyfriend is just like, cool. And I'm like, no. And she's like, stop. And she's like, if you come down here, Santa's not going to come. You're bad. And she's like, all right, hold up. I do like presents. She's like, all right, you win this one, Denise. I'm going to go back to bed then. And they're like, oh, thank goodness. And then, okay, so we think, okay, now it's going to happen. No, she hears the cat. She's got to go let the cat in.
Well, what she hears is the jingle bells on Billy's Santa suit. And she thinks it's the
is
cat.
that what that was? I thought it was really the
And-
cat.
And she only puts on her pants to go let the cat in.
If you
Which
want to
I'm
call,
like,
if you want
what?
to call those pants, we can call them pants. But
she was worried about her sister seeing her, like, but she's gonna just go up. Like,
If you're gonna
top.
put
look, Daisy
one
Dukes
pair-
were a thing in the 70s,
if
all
you're
right?
going to put on one item of clothing, wouldn't it be a shirt? Because that
Well,
can
she had her
serve as
shirt on
birth.
already. She had her shirt on already.
No, it was
No,
all.
yeah.
No,
she
she's
answers
shirtless.
the
She's
door
only-
fully
Yeah,
abreast.
she's
Was
only
she?
wearing pants.
Yes.
She gets up and just puts on the shorts and then goes.
Then what the fuck's the point? You know what? You're right.
And it's not like a quick, hey, let me peek out. She's like full door open,
She, like,
fucking
Stretching.
Let's get in here. And then the cat, like, I was really happy. I was like, oh, like, that's cool. She let the cat in. It's cold outside. I was like really excited.
Hark, Whiskers, come inside. I'm here. Mama's ready. And it's like, dude, lady.
And you think no one's there, but then the cat actually runs in. I was like, okay, scene, ended. We've done this.
But Billy makes his way in, or he tries to.
She
anyway.
slams the door on him, and then we get a whole Shining situation where he axes through the door, which explodes with one hit.
That's the shittiest
He
door
hits
ever.
the door, and it just kind of like boom. And I was like, okay, that's one way to get in. And then what? She just kind of shuffles backwards a little bit, like she's gonna fake him out like a basketball game.
Well, he throws the axe at her and barely misses her head, and it
That's what I'm
sticks
saying.
in
She
the
kinda
wall.
shuffles back against the wall, and I was like, "What are you doing? Turn and run." Also, run downstairs where your boyfriend is.
Yeah, then you get him instead.
He's busy listening to the warm side of the door for the 7th time, so he can't hear anything upstairs.
Hear any of it? I know.
And meanwhile, Billy's like picking her up over his head, like trying very hardly to do so. I was like, what are you doing exactly? But
He's going for a body slam.
Well, he's
Like,
carrying her like a sack of potatoes at one point, and then he like picks her up, and then just gently, slowly, as slow as humanly possible, ever so gently and softly pushes her through reindeer antlers.
Which
there's a
is a
deer
really
head on the
cool
wall.
way to kill her.
Yes,
though.
it
I
is.
like
Agreed.
that. It's my favorite death of the movie.
But he does it like through her like stomach midsection, and I was like, that's not going to hold her up, bro.
Right?
Also, like
She dies immediately, though.
I know. I'm like, maybe he went through her like liver or spleen. Or, I don't know. She still should have taken a little bit longer to
Yeah.
die.
She should have been
passed
kicking
out
around for a
instantly.
bit.
Yeah, she should have been like, here we go again.
maybe she
something.
maybe she fainted, right? She's like, this is too much for me. Faint, and then died.
I just like when she was stuck up there and they pan out, like she's perfectly rigidly straight, as if like her body wouldn't slump over or like go limp or of some kind if she died on the antlers. Like she's just perfectly straight, and I'm like,
Well, and she's like
all right.
barely on there. I don't know how she's staying on. You're right.
She's got great ab strength. Okay, she's got that core strength that you beg for.
Why didn't he go over the big ones on top? Why did he go for the little ones in the front? Like,
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, he's making this up as he goes, so
He
not a
learned his
lot
Santa
of
killing from a Santa killer who only half follows through on things. Okay. So then he goes downstairs and kills the boyfriend.
Well, the boyfriend comes up. Where is Denise? I'm still listening to the same song over and over again.
Billy's like, isn't the warm side of the door down there?
That's my favorite montage song. They get in a tussle, and
Tussle.
Billy takes a couple fire pokers to the face, but that doesn't stop him.
he does a pretty good job fighting back, though, compared to most people in the movie.
And the boyfriend tries to call the operator. He dials 0. Hello, operator.
Yeah.
And then Billy like cuts the line and then strangles him to death with the phone cord.
Yeah.
He doesn't lift him up or anything. I was like, where's that strength, bro?
He's all tuckered out, putting that lady on the antlers.
And he got poked in the face with a fire poker, so He's got to recharge.
So now
I
the
love
APB.
that he didn't call 911. He called the operator.
Right.
Well, that's three numbers. You go with the shortest route.
Was 911?
But 911 wouldn't trace the call.
We think maybe 911 didn't exist in 1984.
Yeah.
No, it had
I don't
to.
think that's true.
Somebody look it up while I talk about where the movie goes from here.
Yeah,
So the cops know that a Santa, played by Billy, is basically killed people at the toy store because the nun called it in. And so now, like, we got to find him. Whatever we do, we got to find him. So we got Deputy Dumbass and, Officer Numbnuts, like, driving through the city. They're like, we're going to find this Santa. We're going to take him out. And then they, like, happen to pull up to the first house they see. There's a Santa climbing into an upstairs window on a ladder. And I was like, this is not okay, Dad.
That's not how Santa comes in anyway. Like,
You never heard stories about parents dressing up as Santa and like sneaking into the house? Like,
Not
those-
climbing through the window on a
the
ladder.
window, yeah, on
Look,
a
maybe
ladder.
the execution is all wrong, but that happened.
He could have just come up the stairs inside. The
He could've
girl was
just been in
asleep.
The living room and made a little noise, and the kid runs downstairs like, Santa. He's like, I came through the chimney. But
Right.
no, he's climbing his fat ass to this window, and then the cops slam on their brakes, run to the front door. The mom stands like, what are you doing? And they're just like, shut up. They went past, and I was like, no warrant, no knock, nothing. They're just inside, guns drawn. They kick open the little girl's door, and they aim the gun. They're like, freeze. And she's like, Daddy? And I was like, what kind of shitty Santa costume do you have where your kid can immediately identify you?
I mean, I always think, like, how would you not know it was your dad?
With the big beard and the hat. You only have
You
the
don't
eyes.
know your dad's eyes.
I never knew my father. Never knew my father. Thank you for bringing it up. I'm going to go kill some people dressed as Santa now.
So even amid all the controversy, the one thing the movie doesn't do is kill any children. And back at Denise's house,
Oh, back at Denise's house.
Cindy comes downstairs and she's like, Santa. And he stops and Billy goes, have you been good or bad? She's like, good. Are you sure? And she's
He's
like,
ready to get her with that
So
box
then he
cutter.
just hands her the bloody box cutter as a present. He's like, there you go for
Merry
you.
Christmas.
She looks at it like, what the fuck?
You're going to need this to cut down your sister.
This is the Denise removing kit. You may want it.
All right, you ready for some 911 history? In 1987, only 50% of the country had access to 911.
Damn, really?
Yeah. And it wasn't until like 2000, whereas in the high 90s. So, yeah, pretty wild. I didn't know that either. So,
The more you know.
yeah.
Thank you, John, for this tip.
okay.
If you go back in time in the 80s, start with the operator. Safer bet.
Okay.
I like that they show the boyfriend outside like more than once so that you can really see that they put the effort into the glass going
Oh, yeah.
through him.
Yeah, because he leaves, they're like, oh, by the way, the boyfriend's still here. And it's like, thank you, movie, for reminding me of this
They're-
thing that you
they worked
held
really
on already
hard.
for a long time.
They worked really hard on the special effects. That was like the whole budget. Okay.
The glass budget was insane in this movie.
I did
That's why they
forget.
didn't break the window in the toy
They
store.
only had one pane of sugar glass, and they were not wasting it.
So anyway, back to the cop house where they bust open the door and they're like, "Freeze, Santa!" She's like, "Daddy," and they're like, "Daddy," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the dad," and they're like, "Oh, our bad." And then they basically like, I expected like wompa-dompa-dompa-dom like to play because like everyone's just like, oh, these cops, and I'm like, I would be pissed as fuck, man.
But there is a killer Santa Claus out killing people.
No one
so-
knows that though. Well, I guess the
Well,
cops.
but when
do.
they tell them that, like, why were you coming in here? They probably be like, we're
I
looking.
know,
we're
but they
suppo-
did, one cop should have stayed downstairs. Like we found someone upstairs. Like they didn't do nothing. Like the mom's right
They
behind
thought he
them.
was there to kill somebody.
Yes, and it's the 80s, all right? There are no rules. They're just look, they're just lucky that they didn't come in shooting, all right?
The wife's like, "What are you guys doing?" Bam! Shut up! They run upstairs.
Because in like 40 minutes, they're just going to shoot a Santa in the back.
Hey,
So,
yes, these cops are so trigger happy this whole movie.
Like, the dog could be Santa. Bam, bam, bam.
yeah. So this dad got off light, all right?
For
the
no
dad
good
also looks annoyed, like, you ruined the surprise. And it's like, you almost got killed, my dude.
for no good reason, two guys are going to go sledding in the dead of night.
Is that what we cut to now?
Yes.
For no good reason. It's like, okay, look, check out these sweet sleds we made or something. I'm like, okay.
And how far from civilization are they? Because it is pitch black in the middle of the forest.
They're about 7
But
minutes from town.
They also say this is virgin snow, but to me it looks like there was footprints all
Oh, there
over.
was a trail already. There was a
Well,
sled trail already that they went down.
Y'all don't know what that means.
Well, it was when they started filming that scene, but
They can't be that far away from civilization because Bob and Matt are going to show up and do a sled jacket.
yeah, what the hell is this?
That guy looked like he was like 40 years old.
The old men come into the scene and are like, hey, nice sleds. Be a shame if something happened to them.
They're like, we were just waiting over there for you. So, like, what were they even doing? Why are 4 people on this mountain?
I don't know. So yeah, they get punched and thrown to the ground, and then like they just run off, right?
Yeah.
The sled owners flee the scene of the crime.
Like, take our sleds, whatever.
Well, the cops are busy.
Yeah, so Bob and Matt are like, fucking hell yeah, now we get to go down the hill.
What kind of
They
nerdy
all-
ass bullies are these?
They all talk about it for so long before they go down the hill.
Then they don't even want a sled. The guy's like, what if I hit something? Like, you should have thought of that before you bullied those other guys.
Well, they are also sledding in the densest forest possible in
That's
Utah.
true.
There's like trees every 2 feet. I was like, where are you going to sled, bro?
And it doesn't look like it's very good because they have to keep using their hands to keep going.
I didn't see that part.
They're just pushing themselves down there.
They're screaming like it's so fun, but they're like having to use their hands. I'm like, that can't be very good.
Remember that time when you outgrew basically like playing in the sprinkler and you were like, this is fun. You're just trying to convince yourself that this was still fun. You're like, oh boy, this may be it for me.
Yeah, that was them.
One of the friends makes it down. He's like, come on, it's your turn. He's like, all right, wee, ha ha ha, wee. Like in a real Weasley laugh. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
More half-assed crime. They're like, we stole the sleds. What do we do now? I don't know.
Yeah, dude, they're the lamest bullies.
And from out behind a tree, Billy steps out and just lops that dude's head clean off.
Well, the dude's sliding down the hill, and he's like, oh no!
Yeah, his friends at the bottom of the hill, like, yay, come on down. He's like, huh? Something doesn't look right. He's not got a head.
I loved the dummy body with no head on the sled, just kind of bumping on the sled. It looked so fake, but I was like, it cracked me up. It was so funny looking.
See, it's so funny. I love
And
it.
behind the sled, his head was tumbling down
Oh my
behind
God,
it.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
No blood spray on that at all, by the way.
No, they didn't have blood spray money.
There was,
Yeah.
there was no blood except for on the rim of the neck where a head was lopped off. One could argue that the arteries in the neck would squirt or spray blood of some kind.
You would think.
No.
Billy-
Just a nice little, like a rim of salt on the fucking, like, margarita. It was
Billy
like, dude.
cut it so fast it cauterized.
That's right.
The axe was
Okay.
going so fast.
The heat from the
Yes.
swing. Oh, you've done it. You sold
you.
me, John.
Thank
You
you.
can stop right there.
So the movie's not done introducing new characters when we've only got about 15 minutes left of the movie.
Plenty of time.
We cut to a police station that kicked me square in the nostalgia because I forgot about inside buildings that have like brick and green carpet. I was like, holy fuck. This reminds me of the 80s so hard right now. I was like, wow. And there's just some cop who's like, I guess a sergeant or something, right? And the nun had shown up and fallen asleep on
He's
the
the
bench.
chief of police.
Okay, well, the nun,
It's down so weirdly close to her.
yeah, he like pushes her out of the way and sits on the bench. Is like, well, what are we gonna do? Three more murders since you went to sleep, sister.
He kneels down and he takes her hand gently.
He does.
Oh, that's right.
I lost it. I was like, what are you doing, my dude? Like, pull it back.
And she startles awake and it's like, yeah, that's weird.
Every male in this woman has never seen a woman before. They just don't know how to talk to them or act around them. They get weird and start kneeling. It's bizarre.
But it's a good thing that our police captain's here to help the nun think like a man. Because without his wisdom, she wouldn't have put two and two together. Because she's like, oh, I could figure out what Billy had done based on his history. He's like, but what if you could predict where he's going? She's like, my God, he's going back to the fucking nunnery orphanage. It's like, what? All right. So they put out the APB. It's like, get any fucking Santa Claus that's on the way to the orphanage.
Just shoot him. Just shoot him
They
on
said,
sight.
Be on the lookout for a Santa.
Shoot to kill.
Shoot to
to
It started
kill.
with be on the lookout and then like murder. And it was like, good God, guys.
If you even ask their name, you probably killed a kid. So just shoot them.
So they hop in their Ford Escort or whatever the hell they're driving back then, and they're beeline into the orphanage. But Officer Barnes,
Plastic Santas in the yard.
Yeah.
Bam, got him. Bam, got him.
so Officer Barnes is the first one on the case. He's the closest one, and he's doing his Barnesest to get himself a Santa Claus. He needs to put that on his list of things I've shot this week.
Yeah. He's almost got bingo, but just missing a Santa.
Well, we cut to a bunch of kids playing in front of the orphanage in the snow, and then, like these are like the almost teenagers, like right out of that the weird awkward stage of like 11 and 12. And they're like, hey, what are you doing? Stop hitting me. Hold up, you guys. Check it out. It's a Santa. And then that one kid throws the snowball in the kid's back and he goes, hey, I'm looking at Santa here. Look. And then they're just all like, oh, shit.
The kid is walking really slowly with his hand extended.
Yes. Like E.T. level shit. You're just like, what do you expect to happen here? And then the cop pulls up and he's like, stop where you are. Don't move.
And the kid is
Blah, 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 blah.
Even when the cop is shouting, he's still walking to shake Santa's hand.
He's gonna get that handshake, all right?
And sister, another nun, is like out there, and she's like, "Oh my God, they killed Santa! Kids, go inside."
Yeah.
Everyone is just kind of like, "Oh, okay."
This is not the first Santa they've seen killed. Back to Mark's thing, they've been hiding Santas for him.
I like to think that one kid still shook Santa's hand.
Santa, are you there? It's me, Jacqueline.
So, despite the fact that we find out that Santa's deaf, Barnes didn't give that Santa any time to respond at all.
He was going to kill
Hey, you,
kids.
blam, 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 is how that went.
How did the other nun drop the ball and be like, "Oh, that's Father so-and-so. He's deaf. He's not going to respond to you."
Well, she's
Because she
probably-
doesn't know there's killer Santas out there.
Well, she's probably like, there's no way that cop is going to shoot this Santa, so we'll let this play out.
And he didn't give him any time.
That too, yeah.
No, he jumps out the car, slides across his hood, just unloads.
He's lucky he didn't hit a
He
kid.
yelled it in the car, "Freeze!" and then opens the door and then gets out.
He hit that Santa by accident. My man didn't even aim. He's just blasting.
So I came out blasting.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So we cut to inside the orphanage where everybody's kind of sitting around. Mother Superior is now wheelchair bound at
Yes.
this point. And she's just giving him a light ribbing. He's like, "You really had to shoot this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, come on." He's like, it was in self-defense. He was coming right at me. You know, bullshit like that. And you're like, okay, I guess we don't care about this guy.
Yeah.
No, he starts saying there's a Santa coming to kill everybody right in front of all the kids are right there.
And that's what she goes. She goes, "All right, kids, let's sing. Let's take our minds off of it." And that's when the
Get
kids'
my
mouths are
harmonica.
permanently shut. And it's all like, I was like, nope, not even close, you guys. You could have drawn open mouths on all the kids with a pen and it would have looked more
And
realistic.
that cop was like, I wish that Santa would get here. This singing is giving me a headache.
So we cut back to the to sister, whatever her name is, and the chief, and they're on their way to the orphanarium, and also Billy's on his way with an axe. Mm-hmm. And then they get there at the same time, and the chief is exploring the empty cavernous.
What is that building?
What is that building?
Well, it's not Chief, that's Officer Barnes.
Oh, that's Officer
He's
Barnes?
still on the case. He's like,
Oh, that's right.
He's pacing around the entire fucking
Yes.
orphanage with his gun drawn, poking out, just waiting to shoot something else.
He wants to shoot you.
He's like,
whoever
"That's
he
2 out of 3. Bam, bam. Got me another one. Oh, shit."
Well, Chief, I got 2 nuns, 1 Santa. I think I'm doing okay today.
Yeah, he's going to throw him on like the hood of his car like a deer and just drive him back to town.
He runs into Billy, and Billy axes him in the head, and then that's when Officer Barnes falls into the well inside of the shack outside of the orphanage, which I guess you have.
Well, let me guess what this is. I would assume that maybe this is.
Child pit.
Well,
I think it's like
Where Mother Superior puts them in there when they're bad. You can come out of the pit when you've been good.
That was the 50s. By the 70s, they just
Right.
tie him to the bed.
I thought maybe it had something to do with like utilities not wanting to get frozen over out in the open elements, maybe.
Okay.
Because it was like cemented. You
I
know what I
assumed
mean?
kids kept falling in there, so they built a shack around it to keep the kids out.
That's also possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also didn't really think that much
There was
about
a
it.
thing in there that I was like, is that a furnace or something?
I thought it was like a
I don't
transformer or
know.
something.
Like-
I don't know.
It's irrelevant to the movie because we're going to move right past it.
We're not in Utah. We don't know what they do over there.
Did they just dig holes constantly in Utah?
So Billy kills Officer Barnes.
Yeah.
He also chops the head off his snowman for no reason.
He just hates snowmen. That one's just for him.
He didn't want a Jack Frost situation to happen, so he was just taking care of it.
So inside, while they're singing their Christmas tunes, one random dumb kid just gets up and opens the door for Billy. After they're like, "Don't open the door for anybody." And he's like, "Oh, what?"
I thought that was his brother.
Was that Ricky?
Yeah, that was Ricky that walked to the door and opened it.
But he didn't know it was his brother.
No.
Yeah, he says it's Santa Claus. Though.
yeah.
And they're like, "Ricky, no."
Like most half-assed. Like,
Yeah, the Mother Superior is like, "Ricky, don't, please." And then he comes in and she's like, they're like, "It's Santa." She's like, "Santa doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He's not real, you little shits. What the hell is wrong with you? That's not Santa." But like not saying it as if like, watch out for your safety. She's just saying like, "Shut up, I'm gonna ruin your childhood. Now let's get back to this B&E.
I thought it seemed like she was saying it to Billy like he was going to disappear because he's not real or
I don't know
something.
what her plan was.
Santa's not real.
And then disappears, just fades into dust.
That would be incredible. I would have loved it.
You got me.
You found my weakness.
What did he have in his hand?
Axe.
So he went down in the hole and got the axe out of Officer Barnes, then climbed out of the hole to come
Right.
back inside with the axe.
And he's coming at Mother Superior, and it's all in slow motion.
Was it? I thought he was just walking real slow.
Well, that's
No.
how they filmed it, but
So as he's rearing the axe up to take
okay,
her
that
out,
part was in slow motion, yes.
in busts the police chief, sergeant, whatever the hell he is, with the other sister.
There's also like a 6-minute interlude before he like comes in the door, before he gets before that slow motion scene happens, where he just slow walks like, "Hey kids, how's it going?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Santa." So he slowly walks up to Mother Superior, starts to raise the axe. This is where we cut into slow motion. He's going to axe Mother Superior.
A question?
yeah. No, he's gonna hit it with that body spray. You have stunk my whole life.
Speaking of stump, you stumped me on that one. I was like, ask a question. I was like, wait. I was like, oh, I got it. Like, God, I'm so slow right now.
He gets shot, and as he's dying and falling over, he grabs Mother Superior's arm, and she's like, "Get off me, filth, you fucking trash!" And I was like, "Wow."
Rips her hand away as if like, how dare you touch me?
Like
Even in his, she has no sympathy, remorse, nothing for this child that she made into the monster.
She's like, shoot him again. He's still breathing.
One in the head.
Again, he's not breathing.
He's still breathing.
Oh, I thought you said God.
You got to double tap to make sure
Yeah.
the Santas are really dead.
They hand the gun to the kid and be like, here, you finish him off, Ricky.
Well, then he tells all the kids with his dying breath that they're finally safe. But I'm like, well, you were the one killing everybody.
Safe from me. Mother Superior won. She's alive
I
and
know.
tying kids to beds.
Oh, good point.
This is my criticism of the film, is that we do not get any resolution with the how evil Mother Superior treated
We
Billy.
get no resolution with anything, my dude. From
Yeah.
from
Billy
bad
dies.
Santa
I mean,
to
Billy
the
dies.
beginning. Okay, Billy does die, or does he?
It would have been great to see the good nun like take over, and
Yeah.
all the kids are like next Christmas, everyone's
After
happy.
they saw Mother Superior
Yes.
chopped.
What if she grabs Chief's gun and then shoots Mother Superior in the head and she's like, no more, this ends now.
We needed a scene where Mother Superior actually shows a modicum of remorse for what happened
Or
with
dies.
Billy.
Muppets.
Yeah. Not going to happen though.
Zero.
I wish I had half the self-confidence Mother Superior has.
My methods work or they die trying. That's her fucking motto.
Yeah.
But then it pans over to Ricky, and he's got a scowl on his face. It's like, uh-oh, the other brother.
I think he says naughty. And we're like,
Say
oh,
naughty.
there's the sequel.
He does say naughty because I wrote that down.
And that's the end of the movie.
I tell you, I had more fun talking about the movie than watching it. So maybe it gets half a point back for that.
2 stars.
2
2
stars.
stars. Wow.
I gave it 4 stars because
That
I
is
think
so
it's
high. That
It's
is
not
so high.
It's infinitely rewatchable, especially for the time of the year that it is.
Infinitely?
Infinite.
Mark, I don't even think
John,
it's one
your
time
face- I haven't
rewatchable.
seen you express that much emotion since I've known you, dude.
It's barely one time rewatchable, let alone infinitely.
Watching Barnes murder a Santa Claus in cold blood, I could watch that on loop.
It's so funny. I mean, it's every year. It's a great Christmas laugh.
A little holiday chuckle, if you will. The thing is like this movie was not good for a myriad of reasons, but
Right. I'm not saying it's good,
I will
I'm
say
saying
this-
it's fun.
it's I would have
Can't
more
come
fun.
out with 4 stars and be like, no, I'm not saying it's good. It's just a 4-star movie.
Who
You know?
watched this with someone else in the same room with them?
I did. My dad got really
that's right. Your
stoned.
dad, yeah.
And watched it with me last night.
See,
He
that's
never
the
seen
way
it.
to do it. I think honestly, if you have someone else there, you can turn around and be like, "Did this just fucking happen? Like, what is?" And like someone's like, "No, you're not going crazy." Because yes, granted, I was extremely inebriated, but I was questioning. My notes are a like mismatch of me questioning myself. I wrote something down. I was like, "Wait, that can't be right." I literally wrote down that can't be right in my notes because I was like, I need someone here to help guide me through this movie. But it wasn't bad.
It's more fun with somebody else because
Yes.
we had to pause it because we were laughing so much.
Again, there was moments I was like, "What the fuck?" I enjoyed so much of the absurdity of it, but I think that the lack of any kind of like cohesive narrative, really,
that's what
kind
makes
of,
it
like-
good.
No, yeah,
that's
that's
part
what-
of the whole
that's what
package.
makes it funny.
I would have loved at least an end cap of like, oh yes, this ties back to any of the previous sequences that happened before.
Well, no, but that's what's hilarious. Like the grandpa, like really, he
He's
has
gotta be
this
a time traveler.
premonition,
I mean,
but
this
like
is the only-
you could cut that part out, like,
Yes.
and it wouldn't matter because he would still be traumatized by Santa. So he didn't need to be scared of Santa
Like, why
before.
didn't I be like,
So it's
Grandpa, you
just-
were right,
So
or
it's
something
just
like
funny.
that? Like bring us back to something, or like I'm avenging my parents, or
Look,
like anything that has
every single thing wrong with this film is what makes this movie this film.
Yes.
And that's why it's good. I don't want you to change anything.
You just said it wasn't good earlier.
Fun.
Okay.
When a Neil Breen film has less plot holes than this movie, I think you're in trouble. But I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really fun. I do wish there was a little bit more substance to the narrative itself. But other than that, I mean, I had a good time watching it. I also
This
am
is an
still
hour and
baffled-
19 minutes. It is the perfect length.
Oh, for this movie, yes,
Yeah.
it's the perfect length. But like, I was also really bummed that so many of the kills were not holiday oriented. It was just like axe, bow. I'm like
Strangled with lights.
Yeah.
there was some good ones,
And
but
they
there
were
was also
axed on
some
a
really
sled.
like
That's Holiday.
Maybe that's why they had that scene where he cuts off the snowman's head, because they're like, oh, we didn't make this holiday enough. We need to put something else holiday in there.
the test audience forgot it was Christmas.
Well, I skipped this, but the Rotten Tomatoes score is 44% with the critics and 39% with the audience.
My people.
That's honestly higher than I would have thought.
I would have thought it'd been higher with the audience just because
Yeah,
this
with
movie's
the
so
audience.
beloved and like everyone knows.
It took a
and talks
long
about
time to get there.
So it's a Halloween
long
3
time.
situation.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
But this one will go on a spin.
Spin-off.
It would create many more sequels.
Wait, I just gave you the correct one and you just changed it all. Fuck you, Mark.
They would even do a soft remake with Malcolm McDowell in 2013 called Silent Night.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me about this. I would have watched that in a heartbeat.
I didn't know there was a
If
remake.
you're going to pick half the title, why not go with Deadly Night?
Right?
That's the more interesting half.
Maybe that's why we never heard of it
Yeah,
till right now.
guys.
And there's talks of making another one, a remake this year. Someone else got a hold of the rights, so we may be seeing this again.
This movie
Okay.
doesn't need a remake.
No, yeah, because
Honestly, I'd love to see what they could
perfect.
do modern day. Like just how much more festive and like Christmas oriented the kills would
but
be.
that's what makes it so funny and endearing
I agree.
is the
Again,
80s badness.
I'm not
Like-
saying we do this to negate the first one. There's plenty of 80s movies I prefer over the remakes. But
But there's new Christmas movies to make, like Violent Night or Violent Santa, whatever the hell it's called.
Silent Santa.
Or all those ones we came up with at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
Many options.
Because
Patent pending, by the way. Trademarked. We got all that.
because we'll probably never talk about part 2, aka Garbage Day. I do want to touch on that just a tad.
Yeah, how did we miss talking about part 2? That's our, well, not so much lately, but normally we jump
we
in
asked
at part
about
2.
that.
Well, and then
I
you
asked-
would pretty much not have to watch part 1 because,
Yeah.
because
We could have knocked
Wait a
out
minute. We could have knocked out both at the same time. Is what you're telling me?
Yes, because 45 minutes of part 2 is just footage from part 1.
by the good parts.
As Ricky, Billy's brother, tells the events that occur to a psychologist when he's
You
locked up in a
say
mental
45
ward.
minutes. Are you being
I am not
facetious?
kidding.
No, for real.
No, I am not kidding.
Wow.
it's like most
That
of
is
the movie.
bold. That is a bold move to basically be like, give me your movie. I'm going to tag on top of it and call it my own.
Someone went, let's repackage this and regift it to someone else, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, I guess they probably are like, look, almost nobody saw the first one because it got pulled from theaters. This is the early 80s, right? So not a lot of home media. So I guess they could get away with it because
Well,
no
wait.
one has seen the first one.
Did they refilm it or just actually play the actual scenes from the
it's
first
the
one?
literal scenes.
Yeah.
So they didn't even Rob Zombie Halloween that shit where he remakes Halloween 1.
Right.
Holy
And
shit, that is a bold statement.
there's actually a scene where he's watching TV and on Ricky's Garbage Day guy watching TV, and it's the guy robbing the liquor store in the first movie.
Wait, whoa. Wait a minute.
They reused
Wait
the
a
scene
minute.
of the robber.
Is it like the news? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
it-
just something on TV, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like it was a movie he was watching.
Like-
I think you called it. This is like a Truman Show
they're just
situation.
fucking with Ricky the whole time.
Yes.
This is the lead up.
So outside of the Garbage Day scene where he's just shooting people on the street, Ricky goes and finds Mother Superior, who now has leprosy on half of her face.
Really?
For no reason. It's just like gross tissue all over her face.
Evil of Billy.
Is that what's
Yeah,
happening?
as he died, he cursed her.
After a kerfuffle.
And was it the arm he grabbed?
curse?
That's why he said it's over, kids.
Yeah.
There's a
I
scene
what
gave
he
her a
did.
very slow killing disease. In 10 to 15 years, you'll be free.
He's gonna fuck a bunch of you up, but you know what? We'll get her eventually.
A leper in a wheelchair manages to outmaneuver
No.
Ricky
No.
and tricks him. And while she's trying to get into the chair that goes down the stairs, he grabs her and throws her down the stairwell. And then the other nun comes in and they're like, Mother Superior, Mother Superior. She's sitting in the chair and her head just falls off. No blood.
Because the leprosy.
No, he chopped her head off. He chopped her head off and put it back on her body.
Can I tell you when you were
It's not a speck of blood.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
When you were explaining the scene, I was hoping you'd say that she knocked down the other nuns like bowling pins, and it was just like a whole collapse of nuns.
Blues Brothers style.
Yes.
That would be good. 1 and 2 are worth watching. stop there.
Well, it sounds like you don't have to watch 2 if you've seen the first one.
Well, just fast forward through the part 1 parts.
now,
if
is
you
it
start with part
interspliced
1.
or is it just a chunk that you could skip over?
No, it's interspliced.
Oh, God.
It cuts to him, and
They don't even give you the fucking courtesy of being like, you can skip this 45 minutes.
no, the psychiatrist got to change out the tape that he's recording the session with, and there's some really awkward moments there. It's all great. The guy who plays Ricky is just a ham.
Garbage
Yeah.
Day also takes place during the day, and it doesn't look like there's any snow. Is it snowy in that scene, or is this just like the spring?
When he finds Mother Superior, it's nighttime, and he's got a Santa suit on.
But when he
somehow.
says it's Garbage Day, isn't it like clean and green outside?
Snow at
Yeah.
nighttime.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It only snows at night. Classic Utah.
That's a perfect name for a movie. It only snows at night.
Yes. But does this take place on
The
Christmas Eve?
snowman comes at night.
I don't
like
remember. I was several Jim Beams in at this point because I
that. Good,
did.
I wasn't the only one.
I did a
Sweet.
back-to-back watching of 1 and 2. So
Wow, you must have really
So
not
you
liked yourself.
basically watched one twice.
no, I fast-forwarded all the flashbacks.
Okay, cool.
I was like, I've already seen this. Move forward.
That's
movie.
always a quality thing you have to do in a good movie.
Were you so drunk? You're like, it was 1 on again? Did I click the wrong thing?
No, it wasn't that bad off. Now, when I got to 3, however. Anyway, I recommend this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a good holiday one to throw on. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's only available for rent digitally, though, weirdly enough.
The rights are some weird bullshit. You can only rent it on iTunes and a few other places. You can buy the DVD and Blu-ray on like Amazon. A lot of bootlegs, but I know Shout Factory or Scream Factory put out a hard copy of it.
A 4K restoration with...
Which, what's the point of that?
Yeah,
That's
talk
like
about
polishing a
mean.
turd at that point.
This feels like one of those movies that probably looks better in lower. Where like, dial it down.
Unless technology has come that far, they can basically take cave paintings and make them look like 4K images. Some of the scenes are like, why even bother putting it in 4K? It's like I bought a copy of Street Gangs, which basically is just a Josh Brolin skateboard movie, and it was like remastered. That shit wasn't remastered. They ran a filter through it, and it was just even more grainy than before.
I signed up for the Scream Factory streaming service.
Did you really?
So I could watch this, and I think I saw it in the 4K, and it looks nice.
Is that
Really?
different than Shoutbox?
They're the same company. It's like
Shout
their
Factory is
horror.
the same. Yes, it's their horror division.
And there's actually tons of shit, so I may keep the service. It's probably better than the one you had. What was it, Screambox?
Yeah, that fucking sucked.
Dude, Shout Factory has some of the rowdiest, shitty B movies around. Like all the MST3K movies, so many of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a lot to like there, so I think I might hold on to that subscription for a while.
so shout out to Shout Factory. Shout out to Vinegar Syndrome, who's been putting out a bunch of shitty horror B schlock lately. I got a copy of Invisible Maniac in. Oh my God. I'm not going to make you guys watch this movie because it's right up John's I hate these kind of movies alley. But man, amazing stuff. I'm just really glad we're getting a lot of this stuff brought back out because it is hard to find.
I love this
some
kind of
these films.
stuff.
I would say watch this, but watch it with other people. Like,
Yes.
definitely don't watch this solo unless you're just kind of a glutton for punishment.
I
Yeah.
watched it alone. I was fine.
Yeah, glutton for punishment.
But you're
like we
always
said.
alone, Mark, so
I am not.
I know, I'm joking.
I always have Jim Beam with me. I'm never alone.
My pals Jim and Jack, they're always there. But yeah, no, this was a really fun one. Next up, we have Freddy vs. Jason. We're finally getting around to it. The movie that was the first horror movie that I saw where I screamed at the screen itself in a theater because they had a rave in a cornfield. And I was like, fuck this movie. I was so pissed when
That was a
happened.
great scene, though.
It was a great scene, but I was like, a rave in a cornfield. I was like, it was so movie by committee. Anyway, we'll talk about it. But the next one is Freddy versus Jason, or Jason versus Freddy, depending on who you think is better.
Yeah, well, what's it actually called, though? There
I
is
think
a
it's
real
Freddy
name.
versus Jason. And they did went alphabetical just
Yeah.
to avoid any kind of like who's better.
Okay.
Because this is your classic versus movie where everyone gets a hit and the other
Yeah.
person gets a hit and that person gets a hit. And there's no clear winners.
Well, I mean, I
Spoiler
think there
alert.
is
Yeah, I
a
was like,
clear winner,
spoilers.
The winner is you, listener. You.
Yeah.
You saw this movie.
because the movie ends eventually.
Yes.
Well, Emma, thank you for joining us on this holiday episode of the Grave Talk.
Yeah, it was fun.
We'll have to find something else you like. You're another favorite of Emma's.
I guarantee you she's got another favorite movie out
Oh,
there
I've
somewhere.
got plenty. I plan to keep coming back.
You can't get rid of me that easy. Well, any other lingering thoughts on Christmas
Lingering thoughts.
or Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Settle in, I got a few.
Lingering
Yeah.
thoughts on Christmas. That's my new card company.
I like it. All right. Well, if that's it, listeners, thanks for joining us again. You can find everything we're up to at thegravetalk.com. We've got social medias at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you have any ideas for cold opens or movie ideas, shoot them over to us. Eventually, we'll get to them, even if Garrett hates them. Bone Tomahawk, we're coming for you
We
someday.
will fucking do. Oh my God.
Hope you have a happy holidays, a happy new year, and we'll see you in 2023 with Freddy versus Jason.
Yes. Wow, we're starting that year off with that.
What a banger.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, no. We'll see you later.